This is a production of Darn TV.
I'm starting to get used to our intro music.
I keep playing the same song over and over and over again.
Well, that'd be why. There's no copyright there, but pretty soon I'm gonna know the moves, the dance moves.
I want that Jordan Boys song. Play that. That should be the intro.
The Jordan Boys song.
Boys.
Yeah.
Did you listen to it yet?
Oh no!
I haven't listened to you don't like it.
Wow.
You don't like to I'm with Jordan. Don't make a Brandon Beater song because I would hate it.
Yeah. Well, you just jinxed yourself. So CGR is on it. So.
Oh, I bet he is already. Welcome. We're a little bit late. Internet issues plagued us. Showed up to the old Darn TV studio here, had no internet, zero internet, and
we're almost ready to fold the cards. But
I told Jordan when he walked in, I don't know what we're gonna do because I have no internet, and miraculously, as I was getting ready to dial Mid-Continent's phone number, boom, it all showed up. So,
and we can't blame it on Max.
Yeah. No, he's not even here.
The driver seats are all quiet. So
yeah.
Well, I'll take the credit. I hope it lasts all night. Hope
So
it's better than my racing.
We're not very good at saying this, but it was just kind of cool coincidence. Episode 70 tonight, kind of a milestone.
70. Wow.
I keep the number count going. So the 70 number started when we kind of did a revamp of the show, and it became me leading with you guys or whatever. So that's where. So can you imagine we've done 70 of these things together?
Well, that concerns me because at an average of 4 hours a show, I think it's a year of our lives.
Yeah. That seems to be a measurement, kind of like interest on money. It adds up.
Show 70 for Caden Appelt.
Oh, yeah.
See? Last week was 60, or 2 weeks ago. I apologize. We didn't do a show last week.
Sorry about that. And the message is we need to throw out a cancellation.
Yeah, we didn't. We need to do better of throwing out something saying, "Hey, no show." I just figured
that was good feedback.
With the week before being basically completely rained out, there was some planning going on in our racing world of me taking a race car to Fargo. So I had to quickly throw the Max Beater machine together so I could load it on a trailer and get it to Fargo. So that's what I did. And then Underwood gets canceled, and I said I still need another night to make sure that my hot rod's ready to go to Fargo. So
I don't know anything about that, but I'm very interested in what you're talking about.
Yeah, you didn't know I went to Fargo Friday?
No.
The east side didn't rain out.
The east side of the state did not rain out.
So you raced Max's?
I raced Max's hobby last Friday in Fargo.
And?
Running good. I made some basically what transpired was the rain, everything gave me some time to actually work on it, put some effort into it. I felt bad we were giving him subpar equipment or subpar.
You hadn't got a chance to
really dive into it.
I don't know. He's been sniffing the front all year.
He has at times, but the car just hasn't been. We've had a cooling problem, a heating problem, whatever.
Like a ball joint jumped in there.
Yeah. So. There's been some various things, and I just feel like me being able to spend 2 or 3 good days on it over the rain weekend and then a couple nights last week, take it to Fargo, run it myself, feel what he's feeling, and I think we made some vast improvements for him going into the 2-day show over Memorial Day weekend. And I seen a different Max this weekend.
Man. Ooh, won the Courage Award in my book, so.
Early
or
on.
lucky.
we'll get there, but early on in his feature, he looked like he was watching Uncle.
Yep.
And looked just like him.
Yep. So, yeah.
Higher up the corners if you can be.
the SIBO Motorsports Rundown, specializing in high-performance parts, chassis repair. Call Ryan at 701-720-3889.
I think we've been staying out of wrecking stuff pretty good. I mean,
in
knockdown, drag-out wrecking, I mean. Yeah, things are looking pretty good.
Yeah, we can touch on that Fargo deal a little bit better. Kind of what you expect after rain, because they did get the rain.
So was that Friday night?
Friday night, yep.
Their regular night.
Yep.
Because
so,
Dakota Speedway rained out, so all those boys probably rolled down there.
quite a few. I think there was something like 18 or 19 Western North
On the
Dakota
west side,
drivers
yeah.
that went over there. Kyler Satrin joined me in the hobby stocks over there, so he was there as well. But there's only 9 hobbies over there, which concerns me. I thought the hobby class was stronger. That means without Kyler and I, that's only 7.
Yeah, for the size of the
But-
surrounding area. Huh.
With that, sprint cars were there, 305 sprint cars. We were able to park kind of across the way from the Eisenshake twins. We got to visit with them. It was pretty cool to see that they seen us over there, and we got to have a talk with them, and they came over to us, and we conversed, and we met them at the Petro the next morning and bought some apparel from them, and it was kind of a fun deal.
To reflect, last time we got together with them was
Car show. Yep.
Yeah. So
So it was kind of fun to go to their domain after them coming up to our domain. So
plus the one of them there put
Won.
it to them.
yeah,
So
Layla ended up winning the 305 sprint car feature.
So that's cool stuff.
The track was I'm not gonna. This is not a complaint. I'm gonna be just honest. It was cowboy up.
It was a rodeo, huh?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. You could literally almost feel, especially in a hobby stock with our narrow tires, you could like feel the track underneath you. It was so goofy. It's the weirdest feeling I've ever felt.
You know, probably still some the aeration of the dirt from spring
Yep.
yet, from the frost going out and all that, and throw some water at it. It was all, like you say, not exactly El Fermo.
I
huh?
basically what I did is I said, if I go out there and I get a good start, I'm going to stay out there the whole race. If I kind of get marred in traffic to where we're kind of slicing, dicing, and doing stupid, crazy shit, I'll just pull off, you know. Because Brock kind of went out with the same attitude in the mod. He started way in the back, I think 23rd or 24th or something, and he went out there and people were going wild. He goes, I'm saving my car for another race, another night. I'm not in any sort of points. And after they had a wreck in front of him, he had nowhere to go. Didn't tear up the car. He pulled off. And I kind of went out there with the same attitude. I'm not going to tear up Max's race car.
You wanted to make sure it ran good and handled decent, and you were able to establish that in the heat race.
Yeah, and I established that. So the feature time came, and I was running third. Things were going good. I was right behind the second place car. I had found myself a manageable line, per se. I was kind
A
of
little on the left, a little on the right.
Yeah, rolling the left side in kind of the rumbly stumblies, and then cutting down through, going to the outside of that guy. I had purposely pumped the air pressure up in the right side, actually all the way around. I was at 35 in the right side and 30 in the left side for the sole purpose
Survival. Yeah.
A tire was not going to be my demise. Put it that way.
No bead lock. That'd be
no
the
bead
pressure
lock.
I'd promote.
Well, the guy that was running second, I don't know if he knew that I was coming on the outside of him. I couldn't tell you what his thoughts were. I never had a conversation with him. He when I got to the outside of him down the front straightaway, he drove it down into turn one and whipped her sideways right through the rough stuff, and that right rear came off, and as I was getting back in the throttle and picking it up above him, he went up. And his right front met my left front. And I ended up over the top of the racetrack, slammed on the brakes. Well, meanwhile, I couldn't get it started. Hit the button, it just, it sounded like rough, like
Almost like a dead battery.
to me it sounded, well, it wasn't like a dead battery because it sounded like a growling turning over, like something seized up in the motor. Like it was like, as it was turning over.
Like in the starter motor.
Either the starter motor or the
motor
crate motor itself. I said, well, I'll just throw it in neutral, push me back, take the hood off. Mud chunks everywhere. And it pushed down in between, my starter wire that runs from the top down.
You ran it down between 6 and 8.
Well, it got mud behind it and pushed it over.
Pushed it over? What, to get against the manifold then?
Yep.
Got
Melted it off. So
Started
Easy.
grounding then.
Yep,
Oh.
easy fix. And then we were able to put it back together, and Max did what he did Sunday and Monday, which was super exciting to watch and be a dad.
Yeah. Yeah, the Max man was, he was super.
The
he was
evolution,
supersized.
like Trevor. Max is at the Trevor stage where he shows great speed, put it together for a whole race. Trevor looked like a king on Monday night.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to remind everybody. She just reminded me, Jenny's the one that her hand is the only one that could fit down between the header to get down to that starter wire and put the nut on.
So Jenny saved the day.
Jenny fixed it.
Jenny got it back on the
Yep.
trailer.
She was
Yeah.
amazing. This trip was
Credit where credit is due.
This trip was just Jenny and I, husband, wife, like it was. We joked the whole trip 20 years ago before we had kids. So we like flashed back in the time machine 20 years and went racing together.
There's an old flame.
Were you in the
Here we go.
non-bucket seat pickup?
And we should have found an old mid 80s,
Old crew cab?
yeah, something like that with a bench seat so she
With
could
a
have
bench
squeezed
seat?
up next to me.
Yeah. That's how I remember you guys 20 years ago. Right, Jenny? Yippers.
So it was a fun weekend, and then we went to we just hung out. Brock raced his mod down there, and then we went over to Jamestown, and Brock raced the mod in Jamestown. And Jenny and I just kind of hung out as pitmen. Mm-hmm. And that was a good time as well. So
I don't approve of Kyler running all the way down to Fargo, Brock running down to Fargo. We got to stay focused.
Brock was in the mod.
Well, yeah. He
Brock
kind of.
he saved your stock car.
Yeah, but what if he tweaks an ankle? A wrist? Something.
Man, no life.
Well, you
nothing's impossible, I guess.
you can jump on him later. I heard he might be a guest call-in
Man,
tonight.
he's all over the place.
He is. He is.
Yeah. Mainly in the cab of his truck going to Fargo.
He is driving tonight, so when I let him know that we may be calling him, he
So
said he'll pull over and talk to us.
So he can do Underwood tomorrow. Yeah, that's what he said last night. So.
Yeah, he kind of had to, because of the short week, you talked about it.
Yeah, yesterday was Tuesday, not Monday. and
And
tomorrow's
boy-
Wednesday, not
Boy,
Tuesday.
did it have me screwed up. I got up yesterday morning and went to work, and the boss was talking about a meeting that we were supposed to have on Wednesday, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yep, sounds good. And it took me a better part of the day, and then finally so he texted me and said, you know the meeting's tomorrow, right? And I go, no, it's on Wednesday. And he goes, tomorrow is Wednesday. Oh, shoot.
That Monday.
That's not Tuesday. It's Wednesday.
That Monday is, we need that Monday.
Yeah.
But we don't need
They're
that
rough,
Monday because
but
we
you
had
don't
a
need them to
great,
start on Tuesday.
great night of racing, both nights, Sunday, Monday.
Nodak Racing.
Nodak Racing.
Wow.
Yeah, we're-
Wow. Next level. I don't miss a lap.
Yeah. Unreal.
Good stuff.
Smalls,
Good stuff.
right? He's forever talking about getting a crowd in that grandstand. Felt pretty good to me on Sunday when I'm pulling up to the grandstand. The lines are long. Monday, I think, was even specifically
Parking
longer.
lot's pretty deep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Because the normal rows were getting no entrance exits out
Yep.
of those rows. So
props out to Chris Anderson for bringing the mod by the store, putting it out front. It got a lot of looks. Schedules out there. Robbie Roselli brought that in, promoting the Nodak Speedway. And
it looked like a nice setup.
the only thing that I have regrets on is my granddaughter, Charlie, the 11C Sport Compact, was in it, wrenching on that wheel, and we were supposed to win that thing. And I thought she's a racer for life. I tried to put her in that Chris Anderson car. She wanted nothing to do with it. You know why? I say to Chris, did you take the keys? Nope. I took the steering wheel. She didn't know what to do when getting in there with no steering wheel.
Oh, yeah.
There's no fun in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Can't saw on the wheel if it ain't there. Well, note to self.
But anyway, that was cool. I mean, just to have it in the parking lot. And
It looked pretty neat.
It was fun. And he left it there for 2 nights.
I went over and got gas and saw it was over there. So, and I saw, he posted on Facebook it was going to be there, and you did also. So,
Yeah, Chris Anderson
Good promotions.
stepping it up with the Minot trending news and topics and stuff, doing a bunch of live all over the place. And
Yeah, I think he even kind of got that deal going on behind the grandstand there
Yep.
before the races start. So.
yeah,
He's digging
that's
in.
one thing that was kind of neat, I guess. I didn't prepare for it. I didn't know it was happening, but when we were in Fargo on Friday, it was hobby stock meet and greet night. All the hobby stocks had to go up in front of the grandstands, and 30 minutes before the races, and all the fans get to come down and talk to us. And you're supposed to have giveaways, like as in
Cards
hero
and-
cards or stickers. Or Brandon showed up with a whole lot of what you see.
The king of promotions was empty. Got it. Well, you didn't know. So could have maybe spun up some picture cards or something. So
Yeah, I would have made something, but
One of the things you guys always talk about, 4th of July is usually the biggest crowd, or the North Dakota State Fair. And when you get that crowd, you want to put a presentation together that's enjoyable. And to your point, wow.
yeah,
There-
it was all there, man. If we call it hitting on all 8, it was hitting on all 8.5. I mean, it was good. I thought the whole weekend was just great. So not on a personal level, but on a
Doesn't
on a
hurt
NODAC level.
when the
so-
green machine's pulling the left front off of the ground.
I don't want it to do that. That's how cool the racetrack was. It had cool stuff in it. Yeah. Either I was in the wrong lane or I was not thinking correctly. And at the end of it all, I worked hard to get back to 15th on the second night. It was everything I had in me.
yeah.
So,
the
better luck next
the
time.
racing was killer
Yes.
on Sunday night. We started out with the sport mods. Keenan Glosser got out front, kind of made it a stinker, had some challenges early on, but that was kind of the only one that was decided early, where he got out front and was able to stretch his legs. Some slicing and dicing behind him, but Keenan kind of had that one in the bag from the beginning, on Sunday night.
And we're getting accustomed to him
Yep.
finding that victory circle deal, too. So,
He's going to be a lot to handle as
yeah.
the years come on.
As he-
Last year, I really got to know him or see his progression,
Yeah.
and you can just see he's going to be elite, if not already.
We refer to him as the slingshot graduate, so it's the building blocks.
Going into one, he had that tap the brake and flash the brakes. So cool. Setting
the
it up
sparks,
late in there.
Straight, yeah.
Yep. The second feature of the night
nice job, yep.
was a epic battle between Kyle Eklund and Zach Eubanks in the Sport Compacts. Kyle Eklund was able to outlast Zach Eubanks. We're going to get to the drama part, but in post-race tech,
He can read my brain.
you're getting excited. In post-race tech, an
Hold
illegal
on, hound dog.
an illegal intake was found on the 18W, and that win was taken away and given to Zach Eubanks.
So what does that look like in Victory Lane? Do you have to give your trophy back?
Well, Victory Lane is down front. He got the interview, he got the trophy,
And then you
gave
go-
the trophy away to the kids, signed the trophy with his name, gave it away to
the
a kid.
big one?
No, the little one. He kept his big one, but when you get DQ'd, you have to go hand that trophy, the big trophy. But he still got the picture in Victory Lane. He still got the interview. He still got the signed little trophy to give to a kid.
Well,
a
maybe
tough
it's
one.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. But
Yeah,
forever
I've seen
in
that in the results. I'm like, wait, what?
forever in history, that'll go down as a Zach Eubanks win.
Especially because there was such a warm embrace in Victory Lane between,
Everybody.
Yep. Illegal intake. What can you do to a four-cylinder?
I don't know the exact, but from what I understood, it's basically somehow they got a Cobalt intake on a Cavalier. And you got your intake has to match the motor, match the car, match the brand. I don't know. Somebody out there can clarify a little better than
How
me.
can they tell?
I'm guessing a part number.
That's what I'm going to say. I mean, I'd call myself the motor guy in this world, but I don't know those motors at all. So if you know the people involved, this couldn't have been on purpose. I would say.
I would say not.
I would say it was something that
'Cause
they
if it's
got
at the
and didn't know the
junkyard-
difference. Well, if it could be changed over before it reached a junkyard, how would you know the difference?
Right.
I don't know what to say there. I mean, that's the old adage to getting caught. Of course you didn't know nothing about it. That's what everybody says, but I don't think that's what everybody says. Not in this day and age. I don't think everybody knows even what they have.
Brian Eubanks says it was a 2.4 big runner intake. So it must have been not stock with the motor, with the block, I'm guessing.
I
This
would
is,
say he knows what he's talking about. So, yeah.
I don't know anything about it. So just it's tough deal. Tough deal. Good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, thanks for the response. We're not sure, but in this day and age, it'd be hard to be on top of things like that because motors being built at home anymore are almost non-existent. So you're getting them from somebody that you're putting probably stake into that they know what they're doing.
Yep.
And or should. So
yeah, if they don't, they should.
Yeah.
So tough break, but Zach Eubanks
Feel bad
picking
for
up
him.
the win.
Yeah.
Which
good on Zach. I mean, it was a battle, and it ain't over till it's over. So
And then
now it's over.
Caden Appelt, late race pass over Kyler Satrin to pick up the win.
Late race yellow.
Green,
white,
white,
checkered. Woo! Woo!
All right, and obviously Kyler's on my team.
Yeah.
He's leading,
Yeah.
right?
He didn't need a yellow.
Well, I'm wondering, and obviously I have the beauty of darn TV. I could go back and look. Did he take the white?
Do I have to bring up the rules for you?
Possibly,
Oh, my
because
God.
It appears different tracks have. I'm going to. I know where you're going, but not all tracks
I
have the
thought
same
he
rule.
took
How
the
about
white.
that?
I thought he was in one.
Not all tracks have the same rule.
As I just said. Right. Here we go.
And for you, I will
You
find
might have missed
said
some
rules.
spring shows. This was some winter talk, I think, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. Oh, now it's not showing up. What do I got going? Oh, there we go. Okay. Just give me a second here. Race HQ.
Green, white checker and the hobby's slobber knocker. That's what you got
Wow.
going on.
Yeah, because what wasn't in the race became the race. So, yeah.
Tom Henderson just chimed in. Rule 36.
Well, as I was going to state before, sometimes personally, I got to remember what track I'm at to remember what the rule is going to be because, as I say, every track does it fair and square.
How can
That's
that
not a
be?
problem. But he's going to get into it now because I'll get ahead of you here. Some tracks, if the leader takes the white, the race is considered over. Okay, so it ends on a caution checkered. Well, some tracks, and I know Williston at one time was going to at least attempt one green, white checkered. They're going to try. They'll give it one chance, and if it becomes a yellow, white, a caution white again, then they'll finish it. Given it, they give it one shot at it. This was a number of years ago. I don't know what it is currently because I'm not fast enough to be involved yet. But at any rate, there's plenty of tracks that still believe that if the leader takes the white, it was the final lap, the race is over. It's not a wrong call. It might not be the most exciting call, as this race provided. Brandon, personally, I'm going to speak for you, wants to not end on a yellow.
For the betterment of the show.
He says that's not exciting. So different tracks have that.
What transpired in 2021, the fall meeting of 2021, 22-ish, if I do my math right, maybe it was October of 2022. What does this say? It's fall of 2022. We had some situations where races were ending under yellow in feature time, and it kind of took away from the race, and there were some complaints out there from people like you're shortening the race. So if you're going to end the race on a white flag, it's a 15-lap race. Leader takes the white. Yellow flag comes out without that leader coming around and getting the checkered. How many laps did you guys just race? Did we just race? How many laps did we complete?
I think I remember this.
This discussion?
Yeah.
How many laps did we complete?
It seems like 14.
It is 14. How long is our feature?
15.
Why are we throwing a checkered a lap early?
I don't know.
Why-
This is what I love about our show because we take it apart. We've taken it apart before, but it's been a couple of months or 6 or 7.
So the rule states in heat races, each heat race, each night will have 1 minute per lap time limit. When the time limit is reached under green flag, the next flag ends the race. End of discussion. If white flag has been displayed, the next flag will end the race as well. End of discussion. Heat races. Features is where it's different. Still a 1 minute per lap time limit. Once time limit has been reached and a caution's displayed, you will get one chance at a green, white, checkered. We're not going to end it. It used to be when you reach the time limit and that caution came out, it was yellow checkers.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you'd only finished 3.
If you'd only finished 3 laps
So
and it was caution, you reached that 15-minute or 20-minute time limit,
this song is saying.
it was a checkered, yellow checkered. Now you get one green, white, checkered.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Not numerous, but one.
One.
Okay.
If you've reached the time limit,
okay. If you
if
reach
the
time limit.
time limit has been reached, you get one green, white, checkered.
If it hasn't been reached, we might get 2.
You might get 2.
Okay. Okay.
So then that's where it
Okay.
goes on. If the white flag has been
I gotta pay
displayed,
attention this time.
if the white flag has been displayed and caution comes out before the leader takes the checkers, then at least one green, white, checkered will be attempted. If the time limit has not been reached, then multiple green, white, checkers can be attempted based on race director discretion. Basically, you don't want to turn it into a slobber knocker.
Yeah. But
So,
if the content is there, and it was,
correct.
See, Brandon, I always praise your
rodeo
knowledge
up.
of the rules and just
Yeah.
all things details. That's a detail.
it seems to be not important until it's important. So, yeah. I've won them and lost them.
I just Smalls gets on here. Rule 36. It's came up a couple times. Now they know what rule number it is.
Apparently it's not 86. What? Okay. Uh-huh.
Now that we've went through that, everything was done by the letter to the letter of the rule.
And
Everything
Yeah.
was done
Yeah.
by the letter of the rule, and I firmly believe, 1,000% believe, if you are a true race fan, you want a race to end under green flag conditions.
think of anything in the
Are
world.
we?
Yeah.
Anything in the world. There's a competition. Coke, Pepsi,
Yep.
Coors Light, Bud Light, whatever, Busch Light. You got your blah, blah, blah back and forth. Caden Aphill, Kyler Satrin. It couldn't have affected 2 of the most bigger players. Kyler's leading.
Yep.
That yellow comes out. Caden's like, and he's coming from a long ways
It's
back.
not over yet.
Yep.
And then green, white, checker, those 2, that is the price of admission.
It was.
The only difference is Kyler is out front on a Sunday drive. Caden's driving like his hair's on fire. So there's different levels,
Well, I was just going to say, as a fan, of course I want to see a green, white, checkered. As a driver, not in this case for them, but if I have a straightaway lead, I earn that straightaway lead. And now I no longer have it.
Yep.
We referred to Steven, the 1 year on the topless. Out of sight, checked out. Somebody looped it. He didn't win the race. I think it was this exact call.
It very well could have been.
I think he took the white.
$2,500 to win that night.
He had a lot of money, and he had a straightaway on him. So as a driver, I get the entertainment value, and I get Smallsy. If you're that racer, then show us. I get it, but you worked hard to get where you got too. But nonetheless, that's what a yellow is. Tightens everybody up. Everybody knows that. I like the clarification. Sometimes timing's everything. Right now is a good time for it. So
It's a great time for it because the Tougher Than Dirt Tour
Tougher
next
Dirt's
week
coming up, and there's going to be
has
some
the
of this
same rule.
throughout at every track, regardless of the track rule.
Regardless of what the racetrack rule is,
'Cause
the
you
Tougher Than
supers-
Dirt Tour will end under green.
You supersede
Correct.
local. Yeah.
Correct.
And everybody's just signed on for that.
Yep.
So, yes.
For
That's
the
exciting.
betterment of the show.
For the betterment of the show.
Excitement is uno number 1
Yep.
on your tour. Drivers being able to hang on and or fail to hang on is secondary to great tasting hot dogs and cool cold ones. Got it. Great timing.
We went out of order there, but Brock Beater, before the hobby stocks went out, Brock Beater showed everybody how to rip the lip.
Who knew that night was going to go from the fist fight around the bottom to winning on the top?
You guys started the
Not
feature.
me.
You
Not
guys started
me.
the feature elbowing, shouldering, beating each other up to get down to the tires. And by the end of
Right.
it, ripped the top.
I asked Tina, I said, who won? She said, Brock. I said, where at? She said, oh, it moved to the top. I go, you're kidding. Because, of course, I got a flat tire out of the deal. By the time I changed it, it was time to go watch a different feature. But, Yeah, who knew? That's the point I'm making. If I'd have known, I'd gotten out of the hornet's nest. So
yeah, it was
shoot,
nuts.
so-
And then Travis Hagen.
good
and
on
yeah,
Brockster.
We'll talk to Brock here in about 20 minutes. We got another guest up before Brock, but Travis Hagen. You should be working on a race car.
Yeah. We have a guest in the room that the camera can't see,
Right.
but the dialogue gives it away.
Yeah. Travis Hagen
Wow.
gets called for an early yellow.
Well, worse than that, had less than a stellar heat race.
Less than a stellar heat race.
Missed the invert.
Yep.
So continue.
Got called for an early yellow. Got into the left rear of Mark Dahl. Not on purpose. Not maliciously. Nothing along them lines. Got into
Just
the
good
left rear.
racing.
Yep.
Middle
just kind of
corner
ran
third.
out of room in the middle of the court. Travis just pulled up to the top. He knew he was getting called for it.
Yeah.
Dropped to tail, and then you kind of. I said on the call on the broadcast. You got to keep your one eye on the leaders, and you better have another eye on where Travis Hagen is, because he commenced to driving through the field.
That's another part of his superhero talents is being able to control his emotion.
Yeah.
Because he just seems very even keel. Nothing's too big.
Didn't let anger screw up a race that wasn't over yet. Yeah, good point. Good point. I found myself using the words, you need to have the will to win, and it through adversity. And he had faced adversity, and it wasn't over yet. Just to come from the back once is something. To come back from it twice, we have stellar fields of modified. It's stellar.
And we all
just
know
is.
he's very talented.
Yeah.
But he's also very blessed, fortunate, lucky. The car's bulletproof. He takes shots, and the car seems to go back to that Isaac situation. Was that opening night when Isaac hit him, and then Travis went on to win when that skirmish hit?
Yep.
Yeah.
It could easily been a DNF for him. No. The
Yeah.
car took a pretty good blow and moved on, and then it took a pretty good blow that night too.
Yeah.
Wheels
good
are straight.
point.
Here we go. Unless he's just, maybe they are bent, and he's just wrenching the wheels to get her to go where he wants it to go.
Well, I know, when the conversation comes around, we want to try to figure him out. I think his car is somewhere in the 5+ year old range anyway.
I think it's about a 2017 race.
17. That I was thinking, so we're pushing an 8-year-old car type of deal. In his own words, I weld on it when it cracks, and obviously his maintenance program is good. There's an art to actually avoiding crashing too. I mean, if you can put it in there sideways, take the brunt of it with the right side of your car instead of the right front corner of your car, there's something to be said for that too. I think he's good at all that. As we're talking, as I say, you give him a yellow, time to, he can figure out the track at speed, but you give him 3 laps of yellow to, double check his plan.
Kyler.
he's
Caden.
awesome.
Looks like Kyler's walking away with it. I'd have bet the house that Dahl had that race.
I would have
He looked beautiful, everything, all the adjectives. I
running the
thought
Cody line.
The
He was in the
Bismarck
middle.
boy's going to come and take it all.
Yep. Yeah. I didn't think Mark was going to get caught on that deal either. I just thought he looked that strong. And again, I'm saying the Cody line. He wasn't on the bottom. He wasn't on the top. Because everybody else either was on the bottom or on the top. He was doing the Cody. Actually entered a little bit low and came out a little bit high, but nonetheless, the gap remained well. But
Nodak, Smalls, he's getting a lot of support. Sean Strand, Mark Dahl. We've had Quentin Kinsley come up here.
Yeah.
A lot of
good recognition
Spencer
there.
Wilson.
A lot
He's
of-
getting to be a regular.
Spencer's come around a couple of times, yeah.
A lot of hard work goes into making a racetrack that people want to race on.
A guy
Yeah.
that I'm completely underestimating, and I like it when you talk about this when you're announcing Zach Doctor in the barn car.
The barn built.
Barn built.
How can it? That blows me away because everyone's all.
It's a performer chassis. Don't get too far down this road.
All right. Well, I'm going off of you.
It says barn built right on the side of it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the
That's
barn
just-
built hot rod because it says barn built right on the right rear quarter panel.
That's a little bit of cutesy.
Yes, it's a performer chassis.
But the cell was good.
because he's getting used to this too. Once he gets acclimated to our track,
I am not digging on Zach Doctor
No.
in any way, shape, or form. Zach has been looking really good this year, and it's fun to have him back and his personality. Zach brings a personality that racing needs.
He's had just solid heat races, and
Yep.
it's just a matter of time. I know in the past he's traveled, in the middle of summer, got friends in Minnesota type of deal, and he's got the speed, so worth the time here.
Well, we're about 11 minutes behind when I told the first guest we were going to call.
Okay.
Should we give our
We got
first
some call-ins.
Yeah, we got to give
Okay.
our first guest a call.
We shorten up the week on getting your car ready for tomorrow, so you got to pay attention.
Hello.
Hey, Chad, stretching the Dirt Weekly here. How's it going?
Good. How are you, Brandon Peter?
Pretty good. I got Jordan Boyce and Craig Heupel here with me.
Oh, my two favorites.
Your two favorites, huh?
A professional.
Or a butt kisser, George.
Oh, my. What bottle of champagne are you on? It's Wednesday.
Yeah, none yet, my friend. None yet.
That was an awesome race, man.
Yeah, everything, sometimes things just click, and Sunday night was one of those things that definitely just clicked, so it didn't seem like we could do anything wrong out on the track then.
Chad, Sunday and Monday, if I could go back to your heat race Sunday, my goodness. I was like, hey, how about lift a little half a lap on the field?
Well, when you're racing, you don't really know if you have that much of a lead or not. And I don't have the signal guys like a lot of these other people do. So we just go out there and we do it. In all honesty, on Mother's Day weekend, we were so bad. Like, it was almost embarrassing bad. So we just did a bunch of dumb stuff between the heat race and the feature, and the car just came alive. And I was like, wow, this is really, really good. So we've kind of just stuck with that. And then Sunday night, I don't read up on the rules much. I'm a concrete guy that races on Sunday for the most part. So I get docked 3 positions on Sunday night for having my right rear spring at, because apparently our springs are supposed to be vertical, and I did not know that.
Oh.
Yeah. So I ended up moving the spring back over so everything was vertical, and it just made the car better. So it's just kind of one of those deals, like God was looking out for me, I guess.
Thank you, Mr. Techman. And Chad,
Yeah.
I do believe I did thank him the next night. Well, thank you for making me move that spring, because that was the right ticket.
and Chad,
That's great.
we talked about that on Sunday night about emotions. And you mentioned, I'm not going to get worked up. And that is something that you could get worked up about and mess up your Monday. And you didn't. And we just talked about how Travis controls his emotions, stays cool and clean. And you did that, and it benefited you.
Oh, for sure, for sure. There's lots of things that can happen, at the racetrack or on the racetrack that can get you worked up. But, at the end of the day, we're really a bunch of amateur race car drivers just out there having fun, Yeah. There's not a whole lot of us out there making a living on it or anything crazy like that. So the big part is, I got a lot of family that races, and if we can all go out there and have some fun and have a little success, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's not about who's the best and who's this and who's that.
Yeah, I kind of do know that you have a lot of family that races out there. My wife claims that I picked all your family.
Well, you pick right then. You got a pretty good family. So.
Well, let's talk about that family for a moment. You earlier this year, you finished second to your nephew Taylor Stenvold. What was your smile bigger on that night, watching him do something that he has strived so hard for, or was it Monday night when you won?
No, so much more when Taylor won. We've been in victory lane a few times. We're by far not the greatest race car driver out there, but we've had some success. But when Taylor won, Man, I almost teared up, honestly. Like, I'm like, good for you, man. Good for you.
It
Then him and the whole family, they've just worked so hard for it. And when you see it come together, and truthfully, Taylor for the first few nights was the fastest car out there by a long shot, and I loved watching it. So that there was a lot of questions. Did you let Taylor win? Good Lord, no, I did not let Taylor win.
because if you did, then you would never live that down.
No. That's not how we do it. As
Exactly.
race car drivers, not a one of us is going to let anyone else win. That's for sure. So, but Taylor and Rob and that whole crew, man, they've worked hard for so many years, and they've had a lot of bad luck. They've rolled cars, they've done all that stuff, and I have fortunately never been in that situation, but they just dig right back to it, put it back together, and they're out there every week.
So Taylor's 21, Gabe is 21, and then there was it Tory Mack? He was 21 there too, throwing me off with all these 21s. You're never going to have that trouble with a bunch of 132s. Where does that number come from?
So back in the day when I started racing, I raced an old Camaro, which I believe my brother-in-law Lon bought from Jordan Boyce, if I remember right.
Well, Camaros were cool, so anything's possible. So
Yeah, for sure. That was a horrible race car driver my first year. I'm telling you. So we were racing a little bit around everywhere, and I started as number 32, because I think I enduroed back in the day, and my number was 32, and we did pretty good in enduro. So I'm like, well, we'll stick with 32. But wherever we went, there was always a 32, so we just became 132. And it kind of stuck, and it's grown from there.
Yeah, you're right. Probably not going to get duplicates of that, and that's the whole reason. So,
Yeah, for sure. There is. So we'll watch some racing online, and there's a 132 sport mod out there, I think, from Iowa, and I'm always rooting for them, of course.
Yep. I follow that. So, same deal. Yeah. Well, Chad, I think you're always a favorite, and even when things aren't going good in your own words, I still think you're in the race. So the fact that you were able to make some tune-ups and find Victory Circle, and quite honestly, I saw it, and you didn't own it by tenths of a second. You owned it by 10 seconds. So great finish on you. And like I say again, you're always a favorite, and you have found Victory Circle. I think you're a great interview and just a great asset to the sport, so I like it.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of this fantasy, Chad, our ears were down on the ground trying to get any bit of information. And I'm in the stands, and I'm chatting with your wife, and you gave me just a little bit of nugget, and you said something like, watch out for this upcoming season, so you were feeling something before we even took a green. What were you finding? What was feeling good? Was it the new Hamilton motor from last year we waited so long for?
Yeah, it was honestly the biggest thing is I stay so busy at work that a lot of the racing the last 3-4 years was literally going to church Sunday morning and backing the trailer out Sunday at noon, or the car out Sunday at noon, getting it ready and going racing. Well, we have more time on our hands this year, so I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, the maintenance of these things, making sure everything's ready, making sure you're ready. I mean, that's huge. That is absolutely huge, because you could be the guy that shows up to every racetrack, working on your car, falling behind. But if you can show up to the racetrack and you're actually ready to go, your mind's focused, it's going to be a big, big change in how things go for you.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. They often say that races are won in the garage, and it certainly doesn't hurt. I mean, you have to win it on the track too, but you're right, preparation goes a long ways. And as you're describing, I mean, sometimes you have years that you can do a better job at it, and sometimes you don't. Like you say, we're just a bunch of people that do other jobs and race on weekends type of deals. So So you're going to get the ebb and flow of just living in a community, being a part of society. Sometimes you can put more time into it, and sometimes you can't. I thought it was a great description there, and that way everybody gets a little piece of the pie too. So you bet.
Yeah. And honestly, the best part about the racing thing is just the community you grow, like just going down to the track, visiting with your fellow racers, the fans, all that stuff. But it doesn't make it any better just having that support that you have, the friendships that you grow, all that is what makes racing really worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
Racing
community.
I think one of the most important things is when you get to call in on this show is we give you an opportunity to tell us what you think Smalls is doing wrong.
Oh, man.
This is perfect.
Oh, boy.
Smalls wants some concrete work done, so I meet him down at the track right after Ray Mock's funeral, and right away I said, I think you're doing a great job, Smalls. I said, but if you're gonna put us sport mods out there first, why don't you let us pack the track so we can have something to race on? And boy, oh boy, did he get fired up.
We can picture it.
Yeah. So he gave me an earful, and he said, you're the fourth person that told me that. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. I'm just giving you my input on what would be great. So, but honestly, I even texted him on Sunday night, and I said, you and the track crew have done a fantastic job. The racing all weekend was really, really good. And I didn't just text him that because I won on Monday night either. So I had to make sure that was the case. But I think things are going very good. But I always think things are going good because no one realizes how much time is put into the Nodak Speedway or any other racetrack that we get to go race at. Brandon, you did a phenomenal job for years. All that, a lot of race car drivers just go to the racetrack, race. If things don't go their way, they get mad. But at the end of the day, these guys are just donating their time for us to go race. So we appreciate everyone that donates that.
And I think it's a mutual respect thing because we know that you guys like you, Chad, and so many others are putting in the time and effort to build a race car, to present a race car and come show up and support it. So that reciprocating effort is shown on the other side, and that's what Smalls does, what I try to do. So I think you see it both ways.
Yeah. Everybody involved is working hard at their presentation. You bet. Trackside, racer side. Yep. Yeah. Good points. And I'm with you. I think the track's just been just great. I think the racing's just been hot. So I really do.
It's been fantastic for sure.
Yep.
My wife has a call-in question or a text-in question.
Oh dear.
I used the nickname on either Sunday night or Monday night. Who's your chatty?
Yeah.
And I have no idea where I got that from. I mentioned, Nick said it, I think. I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
Trish.
And then your wife texted me the answer.
She told me she texted you the answer.
Well, the rest of the world doesn't know the answer because I did not share it on air. Are you going to let everybody know where that comes from or what?
Well, my wife claims that it was her idea from Private Quarters, but I don't remember it that way.
Oh, that's where I hear it from. I hear it from her. It all makes sense now.
So we're just gonna go with that. We're gonna keep Mama Trish happy. So.
That works. See, I wasn't going to disclose that. I just didn't feel like the world needed to know that from my voice, from my mouth.
Honestly, back in the day, we did some Who's Your Chatty sweatshirts, and I don't know where it came from. We drank a lot of alcohol back when we used to race hard, so it was probably a couple drunk dudes that came up with Who's Your Chatty and went with that.
You wear it well, so that's awesome.
Definitely stuck for sure.
What's your plans moving forward? Are you going to join us on the Tougher Than Dirt tour?
A little bit. So work is obviously pretty hectic with us doing concrete and stuff, but if everything goes fantastic, I'd like to join you guys in Williston and finish it out. Just depends on how everything plays out Sunday night, because we're going to keep doing the Minot thing for points. That's what we've always done. So as long as everything goes good, we'll see about Underwood. That's a tough turnaround for me, going from a Sunday night race to a Tuesday night race. But if all the stars align and it works out, we'll make it work out. Dickinson's definitely not going to work out for us, but we'll definitely support it where we can. It's been quite a few years before we've even been able to join anything besides the Minot race, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, I remember talking to you last year, and you had some plans to try to run it last year, and the motor issue got in the way. So
Yep.
we'll take you any night we can get you.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see it anywhere if it's not everywhere.
It's fun because everyone's guns out during the tougher than dirt thing, and we get some guys that we don't usually get to race with, and I mean that just makes it all the more exciting for us as local race car drivers to be like, all right, where do we stack up against the rest of these guys, within the state or out of state, and it's just fun to see where we're at. So
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Now I got a Smalls text in.
Uh-oh.
He's still waiting for his concrete. His shoes keep getting muddy.
just tell them to be nicer to the concrete guy.
Maybe after the tougher than dirt, maybe not.
We'll see how this weekend goes. Those tech inspectors got me scared now after a little spring incident.
It sound like they're your best pit man.
Yeah, that worked out well. Maybe they'll find out some other secrets for me.
Tell me something else I need to fix. This is going the right way.
Well, we appreciate you taking our call, and we're glad to see you, having a successful season, and taking that second place ride to Taylor Stenville must have felt really good. So.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Me and Rob had a talk before the year even started, and I said, we can take this racing thing as far as we want to, but if we can just go out and, have fun, have a little success, and have a couple beers when it's all over, I mean, let's call that a win, because there's a lot of time, a lot of money that gets put into these things, so we just got to take the time to enjoy it.
Personal level, I'm trying to figure out Trish's schedule on when she comes to the races, and your sister Candy, when is she going to be there? Because Monday they left me high and dry up there.
Did they? So, well, I never really know about Candy, but Trish is going to kill me for telling you guys this, but so we haven't won at Nodak in 2 years, and so 2 years ago we won 2 in a row. My wife was not there for those 2 races.
Oh no, not one of them.
Yep. Then it happened again. So my daughter, who's kind of a smart ass a little bit, goes home and tells Trish, "Mom, maybe you should just stop going to the races." So I don't think that fared out well for her.
Well, the benefit of having her watching at home is I get that text message from her when we're talking about your nickname. So
yes, she told me exactly what she told you. And I told her, so.
Well, my partner Christy Roselli got quite a kick out of it because as that was texted in, I showed her and I thought she was going to laugh herself out of the booth. So,
honestly, guys, like win, lose or draw, like I would rather have my wife there watching and supporting. Not only me, but Kyler and Taylor and Thielen, and like we got such just a tight group of people that. Like, I'd rather do it with my wife than without, rather than have the success if that's what it is. But I think we're going to try to prove it wrong this weekend. I'm going to make her go to the races, and we'll see if we can win or not.
Hey, I've always said, I'm going to keep this racing thing going, doing what I do, whether it be behind the wheel, announcing, doing Darn TV, it doesn't matter, until I'm not having fun.
Yeah.
When I'm not having fun, then it's time to walk away.
Absolutely.
But right now, I'm still having fun.
Yeah.
Well,
you got to enjoy it on some level for sure.
Yeah, you're good at what you do. You're a big part of a lot of tracks, and we appreciate what you do, and we're we're glad you're still having fun too.
Well, thanks for taking our call, man.
All right, that sounds great, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yep.
Let's see you on the tour.
Yep.
Take care.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Chad.
Bye, guys.
That was a good conversation,
That was,
wasn't it?
That was. You learn something all the time.
Yes.
Chatty.
Who's your chatty?
Yep.
Our next guest, should we just roll right into him?
Yeah.
Because of our ability to stay on time.
Yeah, we're way behind schedule, but he'll understand. Brock Beater picks up the feature win on Sunday night, his third feature of the year.
Good redemption on Monday.
Hello.
Well, Brock, this is your big brother on the Dirt Weekly with Jordan and Craig. How you doing?
Oh, good. Just sitting here on the side of the road waiting for this phone call.
Well, I hope you weren't waiting too long. You know, at Dirt Weekly fashion, we're on time but never on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I waited the whole Chad conversation there, but it was all good.
Uh-huh. Well, heck, what side of Fargo are you on? Heading there or heading home?
I'm on my second trip to Fargo so I can race tomorrow. I'm sitting in Martin, alongside the road in
my.
Martin, North Dakota.
Oh, man.
Is that the stock car you're planning on racing or the mod?
What? Racing where? Well, I'm not racing nowhere.
Well, you
I'm
said
hauling cars.
you could race tomorrow in Underwood.
Meaning
No,
Brody.
Brody's going
Brody.
to race.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
You got to understand,
yeah.
Craig is going with fantasy team stuff. Protect the stock car.
That motor's a
And we
fire
are.
breather, and man,
Yeah, the stalker's going to stay in Mandan and Mina. That's its home base for quite a while here.
It's been grounded to those two for the most part?
Yes, we want it to last all year in both places.
Brock, you texted me after Sunday that I hope it was fun to watch. I want to go back to your battle with Chris Tuchscher when Tuchscher won his stock car race. That was fun to watch. You were grinding the top again that night and kept firing and Chris was on the bottom. That was probably one of my favorite races I'd ever seen, that race. You didn't win that one, but it was good.
In contention.
It was fun to do, and Brandon can speak for this. I've thrown maybe 2 slide jobs in my whole career in 20 years, and that was number 3 and 4 right there, and I thought they were executed pretty good, and I was surprised in myself that they actually worked.
Okay.
So it was fun from in the seat of doing that. That was as fun to cross them over, and we were giving each other room. That was a blast in the car even though I didn't win. I still actually go back and watch that race just because it was a blast to do it.
Now, since you brought up the sliders, I got a good friend in the stands that I've been visiting a lot with, and it's Bo's dad, Tom. And we were watching your stock car feature race on Sunday night. And you were grinding on the top. Gabe was on the bottom. Yellow comes out. And I believe Gabe was in second. And I thought for sure that Bo won the race for Gabe by having Gabe go to the top, putting you down on the bottom, trapping you down there.
I agree.
And
I thought I was screwed. You got to go back. Kyle Slope, he actually showed us. Jordan, you agreed.
Yeah.
I was right behind you. We saw him up there, and I was like, dang, I think something might be up there.
We coasted off on a yellow, and he was up there, and I'm like, are you just playing with us? He wasn't.
And I count. So that was as soon as that caution came out, I did a quick count of the cars, and I figured real quick, I'm on the outside. Here we go.
You were an
I'm
odd
gonna
number.
Give that a whirl, and it worked.
Yeah. Wow.
But then with the whole Bo, I knew down the front straightaway, I got my niece sitting down there, she's trying to be all secretive, but not really, jumping up and down, telling me to pick the top. And I give her a thumbs up like, hey, girl, I don't get to choose on this deal. He does. And I see Bo behind him kind of pointing up too. And I'm like, oh, well, I think that one's out of the bag. Crap, now we got to figure out a new plan.
And that slider was bold. Whoa.
Oh, well, I knew I had to hit the moisture coming out of the corner, not in the middle. So, and actually, when I sent it in there, I actually thought I sent it in a wee bit hard.
You did.
I might just sail this thing off, and then it hit that moisture, and it hooked up and launched. And by Gabe having to go down into the slick, it sure helped me get the run off the corner. And then after that, I just had to bide my time, be patient, and I figured the top would eventually win the race.
Wow. Who'd have known, being part of the first 10 laps of it, my God. I mean, we were peeling bodies off of each other trying to get on the inside lanes. So just incredible.
Yeah, we almost
racetrack.
hit tires and concrete wall trying to get underneath each other, and it's like, good God, what are we doing here, you know?
So what do you
And then
think's going on, Brock? Is it motor or is it car? I mean, because the thing it's like you're willing it to do whatever you want.
I don't know if I don't have an answer for that, because it's not like we're wicked set up or nothing. We're pretty baseline with what Adam wanted to start with last year at the Stampede and Mandan. And I just kind of said, well, let's give her a whirl, and it's working. I think it's a combination of me, the car, the motor combo, and then, well, confidence. Confidence builds confidence. So I'm getting more and more comfortable with that car. And as you can see on Monday night, I got a little on the overconfident side behind Mike Hagan there, and thought I could do more than it was allowing to do. And then I had to be humbled a little bit and come back to reality there and say, hey, don't push it too hard. This thing's still fast.
And given Smalls credit, which I really don't like to do often, you went to the back and you were able to put that thing anywhere. You were diving through the middle, and again, we know you did the top, but there was race surface everywhere.
It's kind of like the Travis Hagan thing. You didn't show it. I wasn't mad. I wasn't pissed, but it was oh shit. That 77 and 21 that I'm battling with a points championship are in second and third, and I'm just at 22nd place. I got to shit and get off the pot type thing. Like, I even told her, I actually went and talked to like Connor Hansen and a couple other guys, and I said, I apologize right now. I had to go. I laid on you guys. I'm sorry. I didn't hit you. I laid on you, but I had to go.
Did you have something for Mike?
Oh, I believe I did, yes. But
you'll never know now.
So I hung out with Travis Hagan down in Fargo and Jamestown. I watched how he raced in Jamestown so patiently. And even Sunday night, I felt I was really patient. The race came to me. Everything kind of fell right. And then I got a little too excited. I didn't have my inner Travis Hagan on Monday. 10 laps to go, and I was already trying to throw a slider and going to win the damn thing. I needed to just chill out and just let the race come to me. And if I pass him, I pass him. If not, it's second place. So you got to work on that part.
So when you're in there in the middle of one going into two, and you feel that front get fast or the pack get faster than the front, is there nothing you can do to stop it? What do you?
There was nothing. I tried to lift a little bit, and it wasn't coming back. I tried to throttle through it. It still wasn't coming back. And then you turn your head to the left, and you see 20 stock cars driving at your driver's side door. And at that point in time, I just floored it and just tried to get as low as I can and get out of the way so I don't junk a race car.
Try to hop in the infield. Yeah,
get out of the way before this thing totally goes bad.
So I'm going to be big brother here, but good reporter guy. There's a lot of people out there that are questioning, where in the hell did Brock Beater come from? Where did he get a stock car? I'm telling you, the racers in the pits, a lot of them know where you got the stock car. But I don't think anybody realizes you picked up a win with that stock car down in Arizona, not last winter, but the winter before.
Yeah, so what is it? We're going to go back 3 years, I guess.
Yep.
We went to Super Nationals with my sport mod. And I kind of had an idea. Brandon and I have talked a long time. We want to do this stock car thing, and we want to race. But the motor thing really scares the guy away. Well, with owning a business now and doing some other stuff and having not necessarily a lot more money, but a little extra help here. And then I asked a friend for some money to help me out and said, hey, I think I'm going to buy a stock car. And guess what? I came home from Boone. I called Brandon up and said, hey, I bought a stock car. It's turnkey, like turnkey. Like, let's go race it. Oh, okay. And it was Brandon Pruitt. It was a 2019 B&B. Simple as that. I took that thing down to Arizona and didn't look great down in Yuma, but then we got some help from Colin Hibden in El Dorado and went over to Central Arizona and kind of lucked. I don't know if I feel I lucked into it because the track kind of rubbered up for me. Gave me a little help. That moisture, spotty moisture or rubber, I call it spotty traction, helps me out a little bit. I was still new to it, but I won. And then I actually struggled last year. You guys don't even realize I ran 6-7 nights in Minot, and I actually struggled quite a bit with it and parked it for a little bit. And then I came back out with it this year with a new motor. I picked up a used motor from Jeremy's Swanson up in Estevan, and I wanted to get back on a mid state just because that's what came with the car, and that's what I won with down in Arizona. So I said, let's try this combo and see how it goes. And by golly, opening night she came out faster than heck. So now it's hard to stop.
It sure has been good to you, and it's sure been fun to watch you race too. Like you say, you move around. You can run the bottom. Certainly, you've been the first guy to find the top type of deal. But like you say, you raced last year, had some struggles, kind of parked it. Actually, just to get away from stock cars a little bit, I enjoyed watching you race a modified. I thought you just had a natural presentation to you, something you'd wanted to do for a while. And we touched on that you went to Fargo here. You stopped in Jamestown on the way home and just about got a hard charger deal out of that deal. So I mean, you're wheeling a modified good too. I mean, good on you. That's fun.
Yeah, the mod thing. It was Adam Goff. I gave him my stock car at the end of last year and said, go have fun. He wrecked his. Well, then Motor Magic come around. I said, hey man, you got my car. Can I go play with yours? By golly, I ran out there and it ran good and I felt good. And lo and behold, this winter I ended up buying it from him. So now that's where I'll bring out the mod when it comes like now Estevan on Saturday. I'm like I said, I'm going to save the stock car for Minot and Mandan. That's where that's going to run full time. And then that mod, I'm going to start playing with that more and more as time allows. This short week racing stuff really kind of throws a wrench into getting two cars ready.
Yeah.
So, and that guy over there playing the video game, I think over there, if he's still there.
No, he left.
We chased him off. He had race cars to build.
To go work on his car, yeah.
That was the message.
He's been helping me quite a bit working on my car. He jumps for joy to work on my car, but he never wants to work on his.
He's still here. He's waving.
Oh.
We thought he left.
So back to the stock cars, and I believe it was Sunday night. Jordan, you're running hot in your heat. Get to the feature. You guys are running 10 cars like fighting for the same piece of track. You guys, and that's probably why you got a flat on that.
We're just all racing close.
My gosh, was that some just on each other? What does that feel like? Is that just claustrophobic at 80 miles an hour?
It's holding your breath for minutes on end.
And it's frustrating because all you do is like I'll use Woznicki there. He kind of got off the bottom for one corner, and we were all freight trained underneath. It's like the old Bristol. You don't get off that bottom because we're all going to freight train you, and you got to just stay with it. Sometimes you got to use your nose to push the guy out of the way. You don't take him out, but dang, you just trying whatever it takes to get any lower than the next guy in front of you, and it just struggles.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and then it was one on the top.
Yeah, well, it got to that point where it was like I tried it earlier in the race, like 4 or 5 laps into it, but I didn't fully commit to it. I kind of rolled up to it, ran it for 3 or 4 laps, and I learned my lesson from Mandan earlier in the year. Don't be stubborn and stick in the same line just because you have to. I bailed back down to the bottom. I just got in line and said, let's see what happens here. And then as the cautions came and things fell, that top side was finally better than the bottom. We wore out the bottom to a point where it was top was actually better.
You seem very like you love the bottom in Mandan, or you're good down there. Just reverse in Minot, because you stick like a glove in turn 4 in Mandan. I mean,
I actually hate the bottom. I hate running the bottom. I
We,
love
we,
running
this
the
is
top.
a topic of conversation between
Okay.
brothers. Both
You
Brock
go
and
back-
Brandon
you-
do not like tops, or do not
Oh,
like
man,
bottoms. We like the top.
You go to the sport mod days, man. I loved rim riding. That was the best place. I love the feel of it up there. You can lay on that edge. You're going fast. That running the bottom thing, I did it down in man. If the car rotates so good, you can't not do it. And then it pulls out of the corner. It's like, God dang it, this is so slow. It feels like, but I'm passing cars, so I'm just gonna keep doing with it. And I did it in Minot that one night when I beat Tukes or whatever for my second win. I just ran the bottom and it just worked. And I was like, I don't like it here. Honestly, it looked better on the top, but I was passing cars, so I just kept rolling with it. When the car is as neutral as mine is, it works low, works high. It is a little tight in the moisture, but it's not where you can't drive it. So it's a very balanced car, and it's one reason why we're not changing anything, because I feel any track condition, it should be close.
I don't mean to be selfish, but we just talked to Chad Strachan Monday night. He got the win, my guy. Pfeiffer got the win, my guy. I thought you should have had the win. I could have gone 3 for 4.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, maybe I gave too many secrets away to Mike Hagan when he was there looking at my car and all kinds of stuff, and that's maybe why I tried extra hard to beat him. I didn't want him to beat me with all my secrets type stuff, I guess.
And wasn't it? We had that doubleheader throwing me off. I think it might have been Sunday. But you came out onto the track. You know how I watch the chrome wheels. But it looked like you put a brand new set of white letters on it, and they just were twirling in the sunshine. Did you put new rubber on that thing right before I think it was heat race?
Sunday night, that's funny that I've used the same tires. Like I used them on the mod all weekend. Ask Brandon. He was down there.
Yeah.
I used the same 3 tires because I didn't want to burn anything up. And I had 3 new ones that have been riding in the trailer. And I say, maybe tonight's the night we're just going to bolt all 3 of them, right front, left rear, right rear, and give her hell. And Adam looked at me and goes, "Are you sure you want to do that? That's like a target." And I said, I'm going to give her a whirl. We're going to see what happens here. And it just, I don't know. They worked, I guess.
It looked cool.
When drivers come over and go, I want to look at your takeoffs. What do you got for takeoffs? And they look at them and it's, well, them are no good. You got everything out of them. That means you're using tires.
Yeah, it comes back to the dumpster tires. I used to jump in the dumpster when you were president. Everybody would throw 1-night-old tires away, and I'd get 2 more nights out of them. I still kind of have the same attitude because they're just my tires, and I got 2 cars. I can burn them out all the way. It's still the cheapness in us. It's built in our father and in us that we got to get the good out of everything we can until we can't no more.
We are kind of cheap asses. Just for the record out there, I just want everybody to know that's a Dirt Weekly fan. There's 50-some people watching right now. Before Brock has all this success in the stock car, there was a guy named Brandon Beater that went plus 16 at the Stampede and turned the 3rd fastest lap, only 94 thousandths off of Sean Strand's fastest lap, just so you guys know.
Yeah, right after
It's
I
the
bought
car. It's the car.
it might be the car. I guess either one of us can drive it.
Oh, just playing with you, man.
Yeah, just giving you grief. That car, I had never drove a stock car before. You allowed me to drive it, or you said, "Hey, we bought this car. You can go race it," because it is something that Brock and I have always wanted to do. A stock car is, but the motors scare us. I'm a crate motor guy. I like crates because they're affordable. I don't have to work on them week in, week out. They just fit my lifestyle. I'm busy. It's just
They do.
getting a stock car motor. You do a good job of maintaining it and balancing your time. Someday, I like Brody as a nephew, but maybe I'd like another niece or nephew. Can you find a woman at some point in time? Stop
Right
working.
now with all the jobs working and now 2 race cars,
Yeah.
it's
It ain't
kind of a
looking
little
good.
tricky to fit it in.
Second trip to Fargo today.
Well, just a second trip so I can be at Underwood tomorrow. It's just kind of what you do. When success is happening in racing, you'll do just about anything to keep going. When times get tough, you kind of get lazy and say, I think I'll just skip this one. No, I'm willing to do just about anything right now for them race cars because it's feeling good.
Such a great season. Fun to watch. Great cheering you on. Heck
And
yeah.
the best part of what we're doing is that niece of mine and my son and that Max, they're ornery sometimes, but it sure is fun to go racing with them guys. They've brought some youth back out in me. You know what I mean? Hanging out down in Mandan with them three young guys and kids and whatever you want to call them. They're young adults, but makes me feel really old, but it actually gives me some energy seeing their excitement. It looks like what we were doing 15 years ago in a hobby stock, how exciting we had friends that were cheering us on and watching them. Their reaction to me winning is just as good as anything.
Yeah.
So Dakota Mod Tour and stock cars.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Oh, it's the stock car's going on the tour.
There you go.
That's a no-brainer. I've already reached out and I found another part-time truck driver to run my Fargo runs for me. That week is scheduled out, planned out. If nothing happens to the car between now and then, I will run the tour with the stock car this year. And then with not having to work on some dirt at the racetrack, it kind of frees me up for that Monday Estevan thing. That's always been a struggle to work down at the racetrack and then try to make it to Estevan on Monday. So this year we're going to give her a shot.
Heck yeah. I like it. I didn't know that. And, yeah, you'll do good. You'll do good. So,
Yep. So that's our plan for going forward, I guess, on that part.
it's only about
And then
5-6 weeks away, so.
Oh, yeah, I know. But, yeah, and then once that's done and the championship's done and Minot being done early in the tour, you might see the stock car actually get parked a little bit. And I'm going to bring the motto quite a bit more at the end of the year.
Well, if that is the case and the car is that good, maybe it's time I make my debut and I'll roll that thing.
Ooh.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time I let an announcer drive
I know
my
it.
car, so-
That's right. I remember that.
So, well, we can always try anything. I'm open for anything. I don't care.
So many good ideas. Oh, man.
Well, we appreciate you. I know we were late, like usual. I don't know what happened with the internet when I got to your office space up here, otherwise known as Darn TV Worldwide Headquarters Studio Office. There was no internet when I got here, so had to correct that. So we got on late.
I was just curious if that landlord's upstairs because he's called me twice during this phone call already.
I was going to say he came in here, I don't know, halfway through the show, so.
It's crazy that he calls me. Perfect timing. He hasn't called me all day, and he calls me twice during the show. It's like, come on, man. They're downstairs doing a show.
Yep.
Oh, selective
guy.
hearing. He's not hearing who we're talking to.
Yeah.
I guess not.
So appreciate you stopping, taking the call. The people want to hear from you. I know you and I talked that I don't necessarily – you don't want to come on the show. I don't want to have you on the show because I don't want to show people that it's favoritism or it's – I don't want people to get the wrong impression. But I think it's well-deserved that you get some recognition.
Yes, with that
Yeah.
being said, I think you're the story of the year.
Yeah.
I know I'm having a good year. I'm trying to stay as humble as possible because, I hear you guys talk about it every week. There's highs and highs and there's lows and lows. You just got to roll with them. If you'd have seen me in March with my business and everything, you thought I was lower than low, and now I'm in a high. You just take it for good. It could end at any time.
Well, Brock,
I'm enjoying it
you're
and having fun.
You're staying humble. I guess I won't. I saw it coming all the while, so that's why,
Well, that's why I gave you that tip there to pick me.
Well, I was going to say, I
told
think we need
Jordan-
the commissioner in here because, no, guys, don't look at me. And you're right. You had some lows of lows in March there, and wow. So, so everybody's like, well, okay, yeah, Brock's going to be part-time.
But just like Chad, he had an inkling that his car and his program are going to be good this year. And in my secret text message, you had the confidence that you were going to be good.
My secret
What?
text message. Did you catch
Well,
that?
see, that secret text is funny that happened. That happened on Easter or whatever. And I actually still had no intentions of racing full-time until Brandon and Jenny and Peyton, they all helped me finish the car. And everything went so well. And Adam came over, and he scaled it with me, and that went really well, nailed it. And I'm like, well, if it's going to click this easy, maybe we got to tell Craig to pick me here. I didn't want to go another year not getting picked in fantasy or something. I got to get picked somehow.
Yeah,
So-
it was crazy. That car wasn't even close to being race ready, and we got up Easter Sunday, and our family Easter was literally spent putting Brock's
Putting the
stock
car
car
together?
together.
Yeah.
Oh,
And actually,
never forget that Easter.
maybe reading into the lines a little bit, I think you mentioned to us not to pick Brock, so you weren't putting pressure on Brock to get going if I could get that feeling.
Well, as a brother, I knew what he was going through.
Well, the situation, yeah.
The situation that he was in. I didn't want him to think that he had to drop what he was doing at work to put a stock car together or put a race car together because we pick him in fantasy.
Right.
It's important. It's big.
Fantasy's a big deal. You guys don't realize it.
Oh, again, I mentioned to the Pfeiffers today that you hate me. So, and now
not true.
We're following you again. I don't know. Do you have? I don't know. Brock has made a sticker up.
I don't think you have any stickers yet. Do you, Team Craig?
No, I'm waiting on Adam to print them. I gotta get back up there. I gotta get out of this damn semi.
But they're
so I go up there
fire,
and get
man.
'em
They're
printed.
cool.
Team
You
Jordan
like
was
them?
first. That was Adam.
Well, I couldn't let Jordan get stickers. That's where I had to run right up to Adam and say, "Hey, we got to get on this. Our team needs stickers. We can't be the last one to get stickers here. We're the points leader. We got to be on top of this."
It's a hot sauce bottle in a grocery cart with a checkered flag.
Yeah.
I have that hot sauce bottle. The old one.
Well, we'll let you get back on the road. Thanks
Yeah.
for taking the time to talk to us.
Okay, sounds good.
Great
Thank you.
season. Good luck. Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Right.
Thanks, Brock.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Dude, a few years ago we tried a show called the Darn TV Download, and we wanted to talk about the things that nobody talks about. And Brock and I had this all idea, and we did one show, and we had Nick Hulberg sitting in the middle, and it was fun. But man, we kind of burned some people, and we didn't intentionally burn people, but we brought things up that hurt some feelings, so we just stopped it because we don't want to be the center of controversy, But we wanted to try to talk about things. But what we've done on this show is been able to talk about things like the green white checkered rule.
Yeah, some
in
clarifications.
an open forum, rather than just two guys sitting there.
In a positive light.
Right.
In an understanding deal so that
Correct.
you understand what you're seeing. Yeah. Yeah. I enjoy Brock, of course, and he says it, I kind of just nonchalantly just half paying attention and bang, everything's just going perfect. And sometimes that happens. I think everybody, if you lived long enough, you've been involved in something, you're like, I really didn't even know what was going on, and it just was just a great
He's raced
deal,
everything.
so. He has.
A-mod, Sport Mod, Hobby, now the stock cars, so nothing is new to him.
And very competitive in hobbies and sport mods. In his own words, not always able to chase the point season type of deal for obvious reasons, but certainly finding himself doing great at two racetracks, Mandan and Minot, hard racetracks. So there's many people behind him helping him and making sure things are going right, and great season. Excited for him.
We are super behind schedule, but I think that's okay.
Well, Jordan's here. He gets a little talkative.
Well, we'll see. The sun's still shining through the curtains, so it's not me yet.
What time does the green flag drop in Underwood?
7.
Maybe a place to be.
Well, we got to be there a little earlier than 7 to get our stuff squared away. You and I.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've kind of covered a lot of the racing. We didn't necessarily touch on all the classes on Sunday night. You want to run through them really quick? I told Marcus 8:30. We're already 10 minutes past, but that would be more under the Texas Red upcoming schedule. But
Okay.
what do you guys?
Yeah,
Do you want to just roll to Marcus?
I think so.
Okay, we'll just roll to
for your
Marcus.
time deal, because he is doing the heavy lifting right now.
Hello.
Hey, Marcus, Brandon here with the Dirt Weekly. Got Jordan and Craig with me. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good, guys. How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Well, we're super behind schedule, like usual.
We're going racing in Underwood tomorrow night.
That's what we're
Yeah.
calling Marcus about.
We're really good.
Yeah. Well, we're a little behind schedule too. We had to take last week off just with 5 inches of rain in Underwood. So not easy decisions were made. It was beautiful last Thursday, but we couldn't even walk around the pits or even get to the racetrack. So.
Yeah, and it was 60 degrees. I mean, when you looked ahead at this week's forecast, mid 70s, and things will just be a whole lot nicer when it's nice out. So
Yes, it
Yeah.
will. We got how many years? So this is year what for you being president down there?
Oh man, I don't know.
Oh,
I
I'm going to
think
make you count, huh?
4 or 5.
yeah, 4 or 5. Then I
6.
know I was vice president for Ben for a couple years, a board member for a couple years. So yeah, I've been involved in one way, shape, or form since I think Dylan and Bo Simmons, Donald Robinson, Ben Seidler, Jordan was a part of it.
Yeah, was
When
that
it o-
15, 16 area?
Yeah,
So-
15. So
Yeah, 10.
yeah, it's been crazy, you know, the amount of changes that we've made out here. It's, you know, every year we try to do some more updating or just upkeep. You know, the facility was kind of ran down, a lot of junk. You know, we've hauled out junk and probably brought some junk in too, but it's been a good change. And you know, our car counts every year keep going up. I think last year we averaged almost 16 sport mods a night, like 14 stock cars. So other classes too, 12 wingless cars. We actually averaged like 28 legends, but we only ran them 4 nights, so it's kind of hard to count them. But yeah, it's just keeps getting better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the improvements, the grandstand improvements, them bleachers that were brought in, the fair helped you out. You had a lot of help bringing them in, but them are a huge
yeah,
thing for the-
commercial grade. And
yeah, for the race fans to come sit in and enjoy the races, and they're full a lot of nights.
Well, before those grandstands, you didn't have anywhere to sit. They were a necessity. And I remember last year coming to the McLean County Speedway for the first time, just the appearance when you park in the pits, the trees removed, the concrete laid down, the new lap board in the middle, tons of updates, and it just felt like it had grown up.
Yeah, and you know, like we always talk about having like a vision team or like you know, a long-term team, which is probably the same people that are on the board or you know, but yeah, like what's the next big thing for us? Like we've had huge stock car races and huge, you know, everyone talks about the tour and we don't really know if we'd ever even want a tour race. There's a lot of pressure behind that and everything, and we got a really good thing going with our Cole County Classic and our county fair, but yeah, I should throw in there that the McLean County Fair, they're the best to work with. They've helped with the scoreboard, you know, thousands of dollars. They bought a whole set of grandstands for us. They've paid off a set of grandstands for us, you know, and just the county fair weekend, you know, in years past we've had big late model shows and I guess yeah, without our county fair and then being able to use this place, you know, we don't have to pay rent. Some tracks have to pay rent, and we actually last year was the first year we had to pay an electric bill, you know. So it's just they've been nothing but great to work with. We've had some really good community members that have always helped out also.
It's fun to see. I got in it with Bo Simmons, whatever year he took over, asked to be the announcer that I had never done before. And then when Dylan came in, I stayed with Dylan, and then with Ben, and I've seen. Well, actually, I think Donald was in there in between, right? Was it
Yeah,
Dylan?
Donald and Dylan did it together, and
Yep.
they kind of both walked. I wouldn't say walked away. They're still heavily involved. Last year we had a tractor breakdown. It was
Yep.
one phone call, and next thing you know, we had a tractor on the way. So
It's so fun,
Donald's-
but it's fun to see where it's come from, and then where we are now, and it's
Right.
so exciting. But not only that, I'm not saying the Tomlinsons and the Beaters didn't get along or we hated one another, but there was a time that maybe we weren't the best of friends. Would you agree, Marcus? And now we're good friends.
yeah, I would just say there's a lot of that with a lot of us, you know.
Yeah.
Like I know Smalls ain't there, but I can give Smalls grief, you know. You know, now me and Smalls are both, you know, helping run racetracks, and it's just kind of, it all comes back full circle, and the amount of respect we actually have for each other that's kind of what keeps the friendship going, you know.
Marcus, that's the appropriate time to give Smalls grief is when he's not here. It's what we like to do.
We've actually been doing it all night, but
So is it going to be the Isaac and Lindsay show on the mic tomorrow night?
That is the plan. Yep. Lindsey Lawson, he's gonna come back and he's actually gonna be the voice for us all year. Besides the Cole County Classic, I guess Kevin Lawson, which would be Lindsay's daughter's getting married during race season. But so I guess Lindsay and Kevin and Dusty, they're all not going to be here for the Cole County, which we'll miss them. But you got to do that too. So. But yeah, so we got actually a local guy from Turtle Lake that he does all the like sporting events for our high school, and he's actually helped out a few times. So trying to get him trained up this year, and then at the end of the year, hopefully he can do it, I guess. So
some cool events coming your way or coming the race fans' way. We're gonna get opening night tomorrow night. We're going to get Tougher Than Dirt Tour, the kickoff and show to the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, which is going on, I think, 6 or 7 years in a row. We've kicked it off with the McLean County Speedway now. Then we roll into your guys' county fair. Like, there's no rest for the wicked here. Like, this is all back to back to back for all of us.
yeah,
And the county fair has some special events. Hot Sauce, Isaac's put stuff together.
Got the Fast 40s.
The Fast 40, some qualifying. That's going to be fun, isn't it?
yeah. So that he's kind of had that idea for quite some time now, and he's kind of pushed it. And I was just like, with the fair going on, or hopefully that'll click off the show a little bit faster. So yeah, we're gonna do modifieds on Friday night, and then stock cars, the Fast 40 will be Saturday night. So those will be $1,000 to win each night. And then yeah, we're gonna race. We're actually gonna have 3 events in 9 days, because we race tomorrow, and then the Tougher Than Dirt Tour. But then we have our first enduro of the year, June 7th. So.
Right.
You just reminded
yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan wasn't sure what he was doing June 7th, but now he knows.
Yeah,
June-
we're doing enduros.
June 7th, there's nowhere to race because we raced the 6th in Estevan. That's the
Yeah, the
Friday.
Friday.
Yep.
Tougher Than Dirt. Heck
so-
yeah.
So the 7th is actually the Gumpke in Jamestown, but we've been running these enduros at noon, so if some of us want to go racing, we still can. So kind of.
Yeah. Our enduro's been a good time, so we still got them.
Yeah, the enduro stuff. We can talk the enduro stuff just a tiny bit. It's something that's trying to get legs again and maybe take off. I know, like at the state fair, we removed the enduro and brought it back a demo derby, but the enduro stuff is still out there. There's a group in rugby trying to keep it going, and you guys are keeping it going. Am I saying that correctly?
Yep.
Yes, a little bit. There's actually a guy from Tioga. His name is Kyle Severson, I believe. I don't know if I pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry, but he's been the one messaging me about everything this year. It's still called Pierce County Racing Association, but he's the one that's been doing a lot of the legwork to me, asking me payouts, asking me, a lot of those guys don't have transponders. Well, I luckily have 3 of them, but, so just I don't know who's actually the lead guy, but I've been dealing with this Kyle, and I believe he's from the Tioga area. But yeah, we're gonna keep trying it. We need 20 cars to break even, but it's tough to continue to only break even on enduros when Jordan can attest that used to be our money makers. We'd lose money on regular race nights and make it all back on enduros, and we're paying the same for the enduros that we did back then. Just it's hard to get cars. There's not a lot of guys that go to the junkyard and get a car and come enduro racing anymore.
Yeah, we certainly have tried to recognize that. It, like you say, it used to carry us. It used to be our Northern Star, if you will. But yeah, we try to understand that. Like you say, the cars that are raced in enduros aren't made anymore. Rear-wheel drive stuff just doesn't exist. Front-wheel drive stuff is welcomed, but it hasn't exactly caught on either. So, But nonetheless, like you're saying, Marcus, we've got a dozen people that just flat support us. They only race the 2 enduros we have, and somehow, some way, we're making it work there, and feel obligated because they are so supportive.
Yep. No, you're exactly right. We got, yeah, and then we do that outlaw deal, which we were hoping that would kind of take off, which it did for a few years, and then it's down a little bit, then it's back up. So I guess I really don't know much to say about the actual enduro side of it. I'm between a rock and a hard place on it, honestly, because I think, there's been people at Caden Apelt, Will Shareski, they got into racing. They're very decorated race car drivers now because of the enduro. Brenner Grinstead, Tyson, I think they had, I don't know if they had enduro cars, but I know they had trophy class cars. So kind of the same thing, so it's near and dear to our heart too, that we got to keep the enduros going. I actually know Will Shareski told me that I think he's got 3 cars coming out of his camp this year. And that's a stock car guy, getting other people involved in racing. So, which is exciting.
And we just had Chad Stretchen earlier that said he got his start running enduros.
Okay, seeing.
Well, back in the day when there was 130 cars at the State Fair Enduro, a lot of people were getting their starts in the enduro stuff.
Yep.
Which if we could somehow get back to 50 cars, I think the State Fair, they would entertain bringing it back to the lineup in front of the grandstands.
It's crazy how big it's been. It used to be limited to 200 entries. You're like, yeah, right. And it's like, yeah, right. Crazy popular at different times.
And I don't know if a guy needs to do like a V6 enduro or like we would allow a V6 car, whether in early 2000s, Bonneville or Grand Prix or something like that. And I don't know if they would do any worse. I mean, we're kind of taking whatever we can get, as long as if they got some safety, make sure they got, we ask for a roll cage. It's not mandatory, but it's highly recommended. If they had their main safety components, we'd probably take any car. Obviously, no pickups or Suburbans or stuff like that. But
yeah, not the big stuff, but maybe the little stuff. Yeah.
We actually had, they're from Canada. The dad and son race, and then they got like 4 slingshots. I don't know how to say their last names, but they came up with like two Ford Mustangs that one year before they got into actual racing. I don't remember their last names, but Quentin's his first name. Quentin Schertle. There you go.
Yep.
So they actually brought 2 newer Ford Mustangs that were obviously junk. I would say they were mid 2000s, but so I think they got their start in enduro racing too. And now look, they're bringing 2 cars and slingshots to the track. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
So not to put you on the spot, we're going to go back to tomorrow night. Big opening night tomorrow night. What are people going to see when they come to the McLean County Speedway? What are we going to give them?
Well, we've been here all day today, all day yesterday, throughout the weekend. Dad didn't come racing with me Friday, Saturday. He was here Sunday a little bit, we're just trying to give the racers a couple lanes to race on. We're a little nervous. We did do some dirt work to corner 1 and 2 last year. We actually narrowed up corner 2. It was so wide getting around the top, so hopefully we can have a little more racy track up there. And then, the fans, we own our grandstand or our concessions, like Jordan said. So you just out of food and beer.
It's time.
We're trying not to up our prices on stuff, but the way the world works, the guys gotta go 50 cents here, 50 cents there. But
Marcus, Brandon runs Jordan and I very hard. It was straight from the job to here. All I am thinking about are those burgers. 24 hours from now, there's going to be 2 of them in me.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
many of us.
Early, I don't know how many. My mom runs the concession, so she does that with the help of. We got a great group in the concessions. I think this is their 2nd or 3rd year back, and it's actually just a family out of Turtle Lake. And then we have Charity Skillgrove. She comes and helps. She's from Minot there. She's originally from Turtle Lake. So, it's kind of a small town feel, you know, little small town racetrack, but we're trying to do big things. You know, we don't. When we first started, Dylan said his first night ever, he had 27 cars in the pits and 34 people in the grandstands. So just the growth that we've had, and we hope everybody comes sees, you know, we didn't do a lot of improvements to the facility this year. Last year we did a lot with the tree removal and concrete and lights, but we're just trying to clean up the area a little bit better. And like we got our handrail painted this week finally, and we got another tractor that Will Shresky and his family donated to us that we had broke down. We got that running this week. So we bought a new tractor. So we got 3 tractors going, 3 water trucks going. Dylan Barnhart's in the blade right now. So yeah, it's kind of nice. I'd say we got 10 people out here kind of just doing some odds and ends and getting ready to go for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a great group we have there, that's for sure. Everybody has a certain skill and just brings it to the racetrack. Like you say, they know what job has to be done. They just dig in and get it done, and good on our group. It's fun.
And then as far as the classes racing, for those sprint car fans or non-wing fans, it's going to be your first chance kind of in this area. Devil's Lake has had them already, but if you're from the Minot area, just a quick 50-minute drive down the road, you're going to catch the Western Renegade non-wing sprint cars tomorrow night.
You're right. I didn't realize that was kind of their first showing out here, but it is, yes.
Yeah, so Miles and Dad, well, I always say Miles because it's my brother, but so the non-wing sprint cars, those guys, they've only raced once this year in Devil's Lake, and I believe that might have been the end of April, if not the first week of May, so those guys are itching to get going. I know that I heard maybe 7 new cars or 9 new cars in the state. I heard a couple of them are from this way, so we might have some new drivers, and you know, that's just a class that continues to grow. We're bringing back, you know, I'm hoping to get some cars. We got Hobby Stock, Sport Mods, and Legends also racing with a couple other classes, but those 3 classes, we got this big tour coming up, the Tougher Than Dirt Tour and the Legendary Tour. I'm hoping that some of those guys will come up, you know, maybe that aren't weekly racers, but are going to come and test out the track before the tour, just to, you know, get a feel. So hoping for, you know, maybe a little bigger car count than normal for an opening night. So I'm excited for that. Then we're bringing in the compacts also, and then the IMCA stock cars. So those will be, we're going to run 6 classes tomorrow, and yeah, it's exciting. We tested the transponder loop. That's a big thing. We're always worried about that. So yeah, just the little things that, you know, a lot of people in the grandstands don't understand what goes on behind the scenes, you know. So
well, I have my radios tuned up and ready. So
well, and I should thank you, Brandon, and since we're on live, I will say a big thank you to Brandon Beater and Jenny and his family. What they do for racing, not just in Underwood, but racing in general, the whole state would be lost without them, and that's honest. So yeah. I hope people that are listening to this truly understands what the Beater family does, and it's not just the Beaters. There's a lot of people that do a lot of stuff for racing, but Brandon and Jenny and the gang, they do a lot everywhere. You see them anywhere from Minot, Estevan, Underwood, Botno, Williston, you know, Dickinson, Devil's Lake. I mean, you guys go everywhere. Seen you in Fargo last week, so
Jamestown.
I appreciate it, Brandon, and Jamestown. So I appreciate it. I just hope that, you know, I don't know how many people are watching, but I just hope that these guys, they truly understand what you guys are doing for racing. I mean, even this, people wait until Wednesday. Like, we didn't have a Dirt Weekly last Wednesday. I don't know if anybody knows that or not.
Oh, yes.
We've been told.
We were told. I've been told very nicely that I have to post something saying we're not having one.
If we're not having one.
If we're not having one.
Yeah.
So I'm sure.
Well said, Marcus. I second that. Brandon, Jenny, and their kids do a great job of keeping things going on. Brandon, you're all-purpose. You can race Seaver, you can race lineup, you can race director, you can announce, you can flag. I think you can do it all at one time.
He could race.
And race, yeah. Right.
Sometimes
microphone from the car.
Sometimes the racing part is questionable, but it's Fargo has tested my abilities to the full extent.
Well, yeah, that's the best way to say that in your life. That's for the meeting after the meeting, or however they say that.
The show after the the
there
show
you go.
after the show that doesn't get recorded.
Oh, it was all good fun. That was a good trip. That was a fun weekend. Just Jamestown and Fargo. That was awesome, and then get to go home and go back to Minot. I didn't have good luck, but that's all right. So
I don't think people understand how much it meant to just rejuvenate myself and Jenny leading into this next 2-week stretch. Even the Tough of the Dirt Tour is a week stretch. Then I go back to my real job, and then I'm into the the fair.
Race and
Just getting away
close to
for them
championship
2
here,
nights,
so.
being able to walk around with my hands in my pocket. I got to race Max's car in Fargo, but be able to walk around in Jamestown, hands in the pocket, just chilling and seeing you guys and talking to everybody. It's just a lot of it just relaxed. People go to the lake. I go to the racetrack, I guess.
Right. Well, and like
same.
that's one thing that needs to be said. I mean, who would do it if it wasn't you guys? Like, it took you to have to drive all the way to Fargo and Jamestown to not have to run a radio or run the race or so it's a nervous feeling, to be honest, because I want to race for a long time yet, and it's just like what happens when a lot of people, I would say a lot of the racers are an older generation right now. It's nice to see some of these younger people getting involved, and I mean, like Smalls, he's got to be 35, so he's starting to get old. I can say that because I'm younger than him, but but it's just, there's always that weird feeling on where do you see racing as a whole going in North Dakota for many years. So it's honestly why I continue to do it in Underwood, because I want to continue to see racing happen in North Dakota. So
Marcus, you just answered my question, and I'm thinking in my mind, they call you the Iron Man. You're at every track when the green flag drops. Sometimes you're announcing at Underwood.
Singing national anthems.
Jordan talks often about your job, working that. You just married Isaac's sister, correct? You got a lot going on. And I'm thinking, why do you bog yourself down taking on this big responsibility of the track?
Yeah, because I don't know. I honestly, Craig, I don't know how to say that. We've never just sat around. Like, my whole family, we've never just sat around. Like, I don't remember the last time I just went home after work and just sat and watched TV all night. There is nights when I go home after work and it's 5 o'clock and I fall asleep, but I'm also up at 4 a.m. to go back to work. So, but yeah, it's just been, I don't know. It's just kind of the way Mom and Dad raised us. And yeah, it's what we do. Mariah, she's running around doing more behind the scenes stuff than probably anybody, getting transponders ready. And, we actually updated we're actually accepting credit cards now this year, on the pit side only. We're going to try it on the pit side only. So make sure you bring cash still, Craig. But, just a lot of the behind the scenes that she does. We got a new secretary, and it's just great. I'm kind of rambling here a little bit, but we got a good group. We've always had a good group. We've had people come and go. They were great, but I'm just really excited for the year. I'm hoping we'll continue to do this if we continue to get good car counts and good fan count. And I honestly believe that our fan count keeps increasing because of the product of the racing that we're putting on, or sometimes we do have lengthier shows, but like I said, Dylan said there's 34 people in the grandstands the first night he ever did this, and now I'm guessing we're averaging over maybe over 500-600 a night, which is great for a town of 1,000 people. Yeah, we depend on a lot of travelers.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yeah, Marcus, you touched on maybe a lengthy show or whatnot, but quite honestly, we're always faced with, all the classes want to race with us, and we want them to, but even we have to draw the line at like 6 classes, and we got 8 classes that want to race with us every night. It's a tough cut. It's tough decisions.
Yep.
Trying to make it all work. So
what's perfect is after the races at Underwood, when we ended Minot and it's time to go home, you're like, I don't want to go home. That drive from Underwood home is just the perfect downtime.
Wind down.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to
And
get
then-
a speeding ticket for sure because you're on.
We'll keep the racing at the track.
and Craig, I don't know if you've ever, if you ride with people or you go with people, but like my favorite thing to do is like after a race, just like you said, that hour drive home, whether we race Mandan or Minot, you just kind of debrief on how the night went, as a driver, me and my wife, we talk about everything from me as a driver to the race program to other racers to so I definitely agree with you on that. That's definitely a nice but if you were with somebody you could, I guess you can talk to yourself, but
He probably does.
so
Marcus, we talked about the races in Minot. Mark Dahl leading the feature, Travis running down, getting at the end, Kyler leading, and then Caden. I'm taking you back to Williston.
Oh,
okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was.
Yeah. So yeah, Tate Johnson, he's a hard racer. We've had battles, we've bumped, we've banged, I don't know if we've hollered at each other, but I'm sure I've said something that I shouldn't have. But he had a good car. He had the best car the last 5 or 6 laps. He just, that thing was stuck on the bottom. He didn't have to lift. One thing that I would say that I did wrong is I got really lazy the last, I'd say 2 to 3 laps. If you actually look at my lap times, they slowed down a lot. And I don't know if I think I was backing my entry up too much, and then I was hitting holes, and it was really starting to upset the car, is what I think was happening. But yeah, he had a good run, and it just sucks, you lead 22, 24 laps, and then you get past legitly coming out of 4, or he passed me going into 3. But it's just going to make a guy better. You gotta finish the race.
Very rarely do you have it easy, and there's always going to be someone dive bombing you before the checkers come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
wants it.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've gotten second to like Travis Hagen. I think the count's over 20. So it's been, second. We've got second twice this year, and we've had some really good runs. And until this weekend, we never finished out of the top 10 until Sunday night. So we kind of got to get it turned around. The modified needs a ton of work. The plan is to go to Mandan Friday, but the biggest thing now with these race cars is they have to be perfect. The front end geometry has to be perfect. The rear end has to be perfect before you even go out on the racetrack, because the guy beside you, it is. And so we got a busy week. I got to work on the stock car a little bit yet, either tonight or tomorrow. Just wash it and get some tires ready, and then but yeah, it's gonna be an exciting rest of the year. I'm glad that Brandon could give me a call, and this is pretty cool. So
it's a lot of fun. It's especially how we've introduced this phone call thing now, and it's all Isaac's fault because he wanted to be a part of the fantasy draft.
yeah, and that's a whole thing in itself. So I've raced for 10 years now. I'm gonna might talk too much, just hang up on me if I have to, but if you have to. But so I've raced for 10 years now, but so I'm starting to think future, like what does it take to be a Hall of Famer? What is your goals as a race car driver? My goals were to race an IMCA A-Mod. My goal was to win an IMCA A-Mod feature. My goal was to win an IMCA A-Mod track championship. I've won 6 state titles. So it's like, what is your next goal? Well, my next goal is to be a Hall of Famer one day. I look up to a lot of Hall of Famers. Jordan's one of them, one of our best family friends. But so like the end all game for my personal racing is a Hall of Famer. Well, what does that take? It takes track championships. It takes feature wins. So, I was only 6 points behind Steven going into Sunday, and now I haven't even looked, but I'm guessing I'm 30, at least 30 back, if not more. And that kind of hurts your run, at this deal, and you gotta, what's the magic number? I think I know Dick Schultz has 6. I think Marlon and Nathan have 7. So what does it take to be a Hall of Famer? I guess, and that would be a great question for somebody to answer.
Right. I think more importantly now, though,
Yeah.
is to be on the winning fantasy team, though, isn't it?
Well, that's where I was going with it.
That's kind of where I thought you were going.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I was gonna keep going. I kind of lost the train of
Yep.
thought there. I'm watching. Yeah, I got. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So the biggest thing is now I gave Jordan 2 bad nights for the fantasy. Finally, he had a full. He had a full team. Jason came out of retirement.
We
Brooklyn,
had all 9.
So, but I guess some points are better than staying at home, but mine weren't much better than staying at home.
Shoot.
Marcus,
It'd be all right.
you can rest assured you're on the track for a Hall of Fame career for sure.
Well, I think a guy's got to win more. I only got 10 career wins and only 1 track championship. And you know, sometimes I want to just throw this in there too. There's more to being just a Hall of Fame driver. You got to be a Hall of Fame person in life. You can't be a complete, POS and still be a Hall of Famer. So, just kind of throw that in there. That make sure you're a Hall of Fame person too, not just a Hall of Fame driver.
I would absolutely agree with that.
Yep. Be positive and keep sport lifted high. And you do that. I sure enjoy being involved with you in Underwood. Like I say, we're friends way off the track, of course, too. But it's a track that keeps us visiting each other without too many days in between. And I haven't carried my load this week here. I'm going to try to get down there early enough to get signs figured out and stuff like that tomorrow. But I'm sure they're waiting. But we'll get through the opener tomorrow night, and it'll be good because we have cool meetings in the wintertime, and we talk grounded and the product shows.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm excited for tomorrow, and just excited to see everyone back here. I'm hoping the grandstand's good. It's always kind of tough to move a night back 1 week, and people have seen the schedule for 3-4 months. That last Thursday was supposed to be the opening night. Now you're just hoping that people see that it is tomorrow. So I'm a little nervous about the fan count, but I think people will drive by and see the cars in the pits, and they might be like, oh, let's go racing. So,
And Marcus, you just referenced that, planning on being there tomorrow night, and I know I'm taking it for granted that I'm going to be there. We all maybe take it for granted, but I think these two fellas, probably the biggest race fans in Underwood, Chuck Scott and Leo Anderson, sit with them at the races here in Minot, and I just want to make reference that Leo passed away and that we lost a big race fan there. I used to really look up to them. Still with Chuck. He's one of my favorite friends in the stands, and Leo won't be there tomorrow night, and I know he would love to be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Leo was, Chuck texted me, was it Monday morning, maybe Sunday? Yeah, Chuck texted me, and we had a pretty nice little couple texts back and forth, and yeah, that's Leo was a community man too, not just a racetrack man. I mean, yes, he was, heavily involved in racing around North Dakota, Arizona. He'd go to Arizona, but yeah, we definitely lost a good man around here, and it's just thoughts and prayers to his family and stuff, and even people that were close to him, family and friends. So it's definitely going to be different, and I know Chuck's taking it pretty hard, which he should be. Him and Leo did everything together, so.
Yeah. Well, we've taken up a half hour of your time when you could get something else done. So.
Well, it looks like everybody's heading to their vehicles to the Rusted Rail for supper. So.
Well, you better go eat supper. Thank you for taking our phone call.
Yeah, thank you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. So I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you later.
Yep. See you tomorrow night.
Yep.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yep. Bye.
Woo.
Always pleasant insight. Just tells it the way it is. And
Katie Ruby, I didn't want to extend that conversation because it could have went on a long time. Whoops. Wrong button here. Katie said, what does it take to be a Hall of Famer? Gosh darn it, man. It's a loaded question for sure. We could talk hours about it.
Yeah. Yeah, she's heard a lot of opinions. So.
Yes. Katie does such a fantastic job keeping the Hall of Fame stuff together.
Keeping it grounded. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's transpired, but Max texted me he was mad because I'm doing a Dirt Weekly and he's working on his car and he needs my help.
Ah.
Jenny
Well.
comes rolling in with a wire and a needle nose pliers, so I can only imagine. What do you think they broke out there?
Well, something. Uh-huh.
My view never changes. I got Jordan. All this action's going on behind me.
I know you and I kind of looked at one another when Jenny came rolling in. So
Yeah, you tried to get her in the seat, and she had the no nod down. That ain't happening.
where did we leave off? Did we talk about night 2?
I think we left off. I think we talked about pretty much everything except the A-Mod race for Monday.
Monday.
So we talked about Chad's Sport Mod. We
Yep.
talked about Brock, his stock car, Mad Mike.
Yeah, Mike got second night, so.
Yeah, we talked about, and then the modified feature went to
Steven got it on
Steven
Monday night.
Pfeiffer got it Monday night. We don't have Smalls here, and I don't really want to bring this up without Smalls.
Yeah.
That whole restart, hot sauce restart topic.
Yeah. Yeah. It
I think
needs to be
Smalls
visited,
needs
but
to be here, but I think we need to.
Yeah.
Basically, the synopsis that I came up with, I believe that inexperience led us to what happened.
Fair. I'm glad you're bringing this up.
Uh-oh.
Because
Uh-oh.
that was a mind blower. Mind blower.
Yes.
There is strong opinions.
And I didn't realize it until I heard the rev limiter
Nonstop.
Right.
as he was going, and I would have been the same.
Right.
I would have been bananas. How can you be okay? Fan.
You're the fan. This is going to work out perfect. We'll roll with
Fan.
this. You're the fan.
Okay.
Because I always thought that the leader controls the pace.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
How can he get the call?
The call that was made was he did not start in the restart zone. And once you reach the second cone, it's green flag go, but by him not starting, it jammed up the field. I believe that would be what the call was.
But if
Yeah.
he did a brake check, then yeah. But he didn't. Jordan.
Adam Goff's giving you grief here.
Uh-oh.
Jordan has to be done by midnight because that's when Wordle starts.
You better
We
be
did not.
careful. You
Trevor's
want to
right.
go to Wordle? Adam.
Trevor Haas is correct. We did not talk about hobby stocks either. We're going to go back to the mod thing.
Okay.
I'm not pushing it off. Ty Saxon picks up his first ever feature win, the number 41 in the hobby stocks. That's pretty cool. We missed him. We should have maybe got his phone number and brought him on.
Yeah. They've been getting around both those hobby cars.
Right.
The other one got one
Oh,
in Mandan last
I
year.
touched on Trevor a little
sorry.
bit. There was a little foreshadowing because that's
Yep.
his second place
Yes,
run.
man.
Yep, that's Trevor's second place run. Caden Appelt, I referenced this during the broadcast as I was calling it. Patience. He was up to second in 2 laps and tried maybe.
In his heat, he went from the back to first place from corner 4 to corner 1.
Well, that also gets lumped into the restart zone area, the restarting area, or the starting zone area.
It's the twitch. We talked about that.
Yep.
It's the Barta twitch.
Yes. Yep. Unfortunately for Caden, the optics of what is going on is making him look like he's jumping. And I'm not necessarily saying he is jumping, but by the letter of the rule, he's hanging back, and he's like in that deal in the heat race, he was hanging back about a car length, and he was to the outside when he was supposed to start 11th. He was to the outside of the cars in front of him, and he turned down. I feel you can't. There's no good angle to see the twitch. To see the twitch of the flag, there's no good angle to see the twitch and Caden going at the same time. So I therefore cannot say he's jumping. But him just angling himself higher, turning down the hill, the optics are going to make it look like he jumps. I'm just saying.
I'll agree with you. The optics look bad, but I would say this too. If he just let the field go
He'd be the lead in 4 laps
Yes.
instead of 2 or 1. I guess that's where I'm getting.
He hears it every weekend.
Yes, he does.
So
I've even told it to him. You don't
hears
need to
it
win it on the first lap. You
use
know,
the other 14 and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some dialogue there. Like I said, it'd be fun to have Smallsy here. I didn't think anything was grossly missed on that. But I think that there is some fun things to talk about. I don't know if there's enough night left for that.
well,
Right.
Jordan is thrown in the towel.
Well,
He's got
the sun went out of the window, so
I don't
still
think-
light out. But what time
I don't
is
think
it?
the world is ready for this controversial topic. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha. It was controversial. That was a bold call.
I hope somebody with some experience can have a conversation with Dexter Saxon and explain to him in the world of modifieds what it takes to restart a race. Because that's honestly, this needs to go from a huge criticizing moment in Dexter Saxon's life, because what he did of his own, not his own fault, or it is his fault, but his own inexperience.
Yeah.
Of not ever being in the lead again caused a lot of damage on a lot of race cars.
That was my first drawed opinion, was that he just hadn't been in that position.
Correct.
If he has, not many times, and I sense just massive nervousness. It's what it looked like.
So I hope this can go from a we're badgering Dexter Saxon to a learning moment, and somebody can put their arm around him, like somebody put their arm around me 25 years ago when I got started, and Grandpa Dick Schultz comes up and puts his arm around me and says, "Brandon, you ain't going to get away with that for very long." And just have that conversation. I really believe that needs to happen, and hopefully Dexter receives it. I know Dexter's pretty upset because he thought he was the leader. He got black flagged. But I hope Dexter is able to receive that criticism and go back and watch and see how to do things differently.
In black and white, that's clear.
Yep.
In the speed of the moment, there might have been some error.
Yep.
So, what does that mean? You touched on the cones. Let's get that standardized. Let's have the hard talk. It's too far out of 4, the second cone. Real quickly here.
That in my review of things that transpired, and there seems to be a lot of focus on starts and restarts this year. Have you kind of felt that too? I don't know if it's the Caden effect. Let's call it the Caden Appelt effect. There seems to be a
when
lot.
Somebody seems to be doing it way differently, and it's okay. Then it screams: is he doing it right and everybody else doing it wrong?
Right.
Which I think in Caden's case is I'm going to generalize that statement. The rest of them aren't doing it right.
Right.
Do you know what the tush
I think
push
he's doing
is?
it right.
The tush push, yeah.
It's like the tush push. You know, the Eagles do it better than everyone. They want to ban
Yeah.
it because no one else can stop it.
Yeah.
And no one else can do it as good.
That's probably a good
It's
parallel.
a very good.
It's a good parallel.
Very good
Yeah.
parallel. What Jordan and I kind of discussed last night. This was just a discussion while you're setting valves on Brock's car.
Yeah.
Maybe does the restart zone need to be adjusted, modified? So the way it works right now, it's basically in the center of 3 and 4 to the exit of 4. It's kind of
So if you were looking at a clock, it'd be at 12 o'clock to
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the hands of a clock, 12
and 3
o'clock.
and 4 are up on top,
Yeah, 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock is the restart zone at a lot of racetracks,
which is corner 4.
which is corner 4. Does that area need to be adjusted? Do the racetracks, do we all need to take a hard look? Instead of getting defensive, what I don't want to happen, I don't want Smalls, I don't want Bruce, I
Yeah.
don't want anybody to take this as criticism. They get defensive and say, nope, the restart zone is the restart zone. That's what we're doing is the restart zone. You know, let's have a discussion. Is it, because if my thing is what we talked about last night, if we're going to penalize somebody for not going in the restart zone, when are we going to penalize somebody for starting before the restart zone? That's just my outside opinion. We have guys that are starting in the middle of turn 3 right now.
In the fairness of the conversation, it had to be addressed.
Yes.
So-
When the can of worms gets opened, be ready for what comes out. And I'm not criticizing anybody. I think it's a standard.
Yeah,
that
this
we-
is no criticism at all. It's maybe just time to, where are we at with this?
I'm leading into the Tougher Than Dirt Tour asking
Yeah.
myself, do I understand what the restart zone is? Do I know what we're going to call for a restart zone?
Do I like where it is?
Do I like where it is?
So
That's where our conversation was
Yeah.
last night. This was no
Yeah.
ripping on anybody.
not at all.
But my attitude is, if we're going to call somebody for not going in the restart zone, why aren't we calling people for going before it?
All right, how about this?
Yeah.
You just admittedly said that Dexter's new, young, not in that situation before. Would that same call be made on with Jason Walla? Yeah, you'd
I
say, well,
think-
Jason Walla wouldn't do that. But, I mean,
Well,
But in the same sense, we are kind of saying that right there, because when Jason Walla, Travis Hagen, Steve Pfeiffer, those experienced modified drivers, when they roll in, to turn 3, they are set up on the bars and they're turning down the track and on the throttle well before they get to the restart zone, because they don't want to go too far in it, because if you go too far, you're jamming everybody up behind you. And that's where I say-
and or you're setting duck.
And you're sitting duck.
You're in the wrong spot.
Right.
The guy in the third row back is in the right spot.
Yes.
but
Potentially.
he's winning. So he must be doing something right.
Correct.
Well, he was.
Correct.
He doesn't want to lose his lead on the restart.
Right.
So that's a consideration.
So when you look at that restart zone and it's between 12 and 9, does that need to be adjusted to 8 and 1? Or not 8 and 1,
Be
10 and 1? Or 10 and 2? Or what are we, where can we adjust that quarter of the pie
Yeah.
per se?
We kind of reflected last night, just trying to have solutional talk here. If the pie is cut in 8s and half of it is 4 pieces, right now we're doing these last 2 pieces. What happens when we clock it back and do the middle 2 pieces? Still a quarter of a turn. It's still a corner. But instead of being 3 or 4, it's the end of 3 and the start of 4. Because a modified, and again, little criticism to Dexter, as was just pointed out, the modifieds get up on the bars coming down the back straightaway, and then they hold the brakes, and they hold it. I like Dexter. Nothing personal here. But he let it down, and he got back up. And right there, like the twitch of an arm, you got everybody all
Yep.
hummed up right now. You just did. I mean that as a driver. I'm not but he lifted it up on the back straightaway. He let it back down, and then he lifted it back up. That's like the twitchy arm. Mm-hmm. So I'll call it inexperience. I'm not dogging on him, but Steven doesn't do that. Travis doesn't do that. They get it up, they hold it there, and they let it go. That's what I'm saying. So,
basically, Jordan and I are really tap dancing around this because we were hoping Smalls would be here, so he could not necessarily defend himself, but we don't want to feel like we're attacking him or the Nodak Speedway or anybody at the Nodak Speedway. That's what we're going
I'm blanking it into let's incorporate our 4 tracks. Let's have the conversation. I mean,
right.
Is it time for an adjustment? I mean, let's think about how we come up with the cones. We just walked out there and put 2 up.
We went out there and we said we're going to start the race coming out of turn 4, and
This looks like a good spot.
we put the 2 cones out there.
And this looks like a good spot.
Are they in the right spot?
As we reflect back, we're saying, are they starting too early? Well, when they're jacked up on the bars, they're starting where they're jacked up on the bars best.
Yep.
And Smalls would be a good guy to talk to about this because I believe he was running towards the front and was right in the car to see all that.
Yep.
He was right up there in the top 5, I believe.
Yes.
The facts of the game. It was a later start than we're used to seeing in a modified. Is that his right? That's the question.
Right.
Is it his
if
right?
I can go back to State Farm Insurance and I'm driving, you jack me in the back, it's your fault.
No matter what.
Right. So if I'm leading, do what you want back there. I'm leading. I'm going to go like this. If you want to go around me, there you go. Drive your car. Let me drive mine.
Again, it's something worth visiting. And what you're describing sounds airtight, and it, for the most part, is. But when every restart has been 100% different than that, and I mean every one of them,
Yep.
where are we at? Well, you know, he's leading the race. He has his right to do it his way. That's true. I think he'd do it different if he could do it again.
Because he got black flagged.
Well, yeah. And maybe there's some other things to talk about there, too. Like, say, Smallsy, just, you know, every once in a while these conversations happen, and they're to enhance and stay out of sticky situations. We talk similar to when do you do a green white checkered. Some tracks are solid on if the leader took the white, it's over. Brandon's influence for all the right reasons we went through say otherwise, but it's still done two different ways. So we're just offering is it time to have a more general area of restarts based on our cars and based on our drivers, and just like I say, to me, if you make the leader get out there too far, you're going to make it better for the cars a little bit behind him. And to me, the leader should have the bestest setup for acceleration because he's leading, and he was, and he is, and if that was rolled back, if that was rolled back, Dexter would have had to go sooner, or he got ran over because he didn't go by the second cone. That could have just made everything we just talked about a moot point.
Yep.
So,
I don't think we're going to get to this part tonight. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Well, look at Craig. Look at Mr. Inside Moves over there, though.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But Ty Saxon, good run by him. Almost two Saxon brothers in the same night. You know, with Dexter up front running that good.
Yes.
He was running a hell of a race up front.
He maintained the gap. He had the speed.
We talked about Chad stretching. Now I screwed up.
Taylor Heaton was driving a dump truck, and he nearly won the thing.
Yes.
The will to win.
That thing was smoking. I could smell rubber.
It was rubbing on the fender. I think he knocked his bumper back far enough it was touching, but in race mode it was up high enough to not smoke. So
I thought he was going to win it like that. And yes, Trevor was driving the race of his life.
And then,
off screen, we was giving him credit for that.
He was not doing Trevor things.
TRD or TDR or
TRD.
TRD. So
help my fantasy points out later as I show you. I kind of closed in on you a little bit over the weekend. Compacts, Zach Eubanks back to back. I think that's how many on the year? 3?
Shout out to my girl Brooklyn. Motor in the car. Pair of top 5s. Oh yeah. She's got a cool race suit. It's got a lot of green on it.
With the disqualification on Sunday night, that'd be 3 in a row for Zach Eubanks after a DNF on opening night. So,
back to fantasy picks, doing those early on.
Yep.
Paying big numbers here. El Profectos.
Lily was showing some muscle Sunday, strong. She was running with Zach.
Yep.
They got a little together, and something happened to the front left, I think, and it wasn't quite right. But she's going to be there. She's getting her figured out.
Fluffy, God, please let Trevor win soon so I can quit hearing about shoulda, woulda, coulda. Fluffy, I absolutely agree with you.
Oh, man. Imagine the pain and suffering. Hang in there, Fluff.
So that gives us the Minot recap. We've kind of went weekend recap, driver chat. Fear and Rear making moves. Let's roll through this. Who's making moves this weekend?
You kind of hopped up on me. You go first.
Yeah. Well, I again, fantastic racing throughout, and it's going to be hard to pick. I'm going to go in a couple of different places. Steven picking up Monday night. That was emotional. That was a great win.
Yes, it was.
Good for him. Dear friend of mine. That was great. Happy for him. Happy for the family. I'm going to go off. I'm going to go off the driver list here a little bit. I was able to see Brecken Bachmeyer this weekend. He got injured in a snowmobile over the winter. I was able to talk to him a little bit when I went out to get my wristband.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So cool. So cool. Brecken, great to see you, to talk to you. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. You've had family support. You're recovering from just about the impossible. You have made strides beyond everybody's imagination. You're going to get there. You're focused. You're determined. Great to see you, friend. Good on you, man.
For those that don't know, Brecken Bachmeyer would be Will Sharesky's brother-in-law.
Yes. Bailey's brother.
Brother.
His wife's
Yep.
brother. So injured in a snowmobile accident. Just been on just a tough road to recovery at the track this weekend. If you knew him before, the fire is still there. He's still Brecken, and he's going to be more Brecken every day. Good on his family. I've been following the daily write-ups and just hoping for the best, and it's awesome. So
You lost
that's
your
my
chance.
fear.
You lost your chance. Now it's mine.
Go for it.
Mine is as everybody on the racetrack did great things. Everybody at the track, everybody. The opening ceremonies put together by Jeff Barta and his crew of people, top notch. Jeff Barta gets my Fear that we're making moves. The other one is, did I see a Butch Boyce in the stands?
He did.
That's
He did.
making moves as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I was able to get Dad in the grandstand for both nights.
So
Things are going the right way.
yes,
You know, I was just going to piggyback on that. The racing family, if you look at them, the generations that you have, you know, I saw your dad there with Tina and Jed and his family run into Bernie, then I see you, and then I see Max. I'm there with my 91-year-old dad. You know, I mean, Chuck, and they're just the relationships. You don't appreciate it until the winter comes, and then you come back and you're like, my gosh, this is just so good.
This is as good as it gets.
You're right,
Yeah.
Steven, you know, Mr. Superman, Macho Man, and that just brings him to
Yeah.
emotions.
Wow.
And then he's got Sladen there and the family, and Mike Hagan, Travis Hagan, just the generations, Lindsey Lawson,
Yeah.
Jerry Lawson, Dusty Lawson, Kevin. There's just so many.
much
It goes
history.
on and on and on. Because we
The
want to go.
sacrifices are made by all these families to do this crazy sport called racing,
Yeah.
and we're all bound by it. Yeah, pretty cool. Travis coming from the back, I mean, doing Travis things. I mean, there's many moments, and I like the Jeff Barta deal. That you're right on. I mean,
he
at
put
Memorial
together
Weekend,
a 15-minute
our military
opening ceremony
allows us to do what we do. It's,
that would make you. It got me going up there, you know, emotional up there going, and it was just legit. It was really, really good with the color guard and national anthem singers. The whole thing was put together. Did you take it in? Did you get there in time?
I did not.
Go back on Darn
I
TV.
won't.
Tune into it. Because we started 20 minutes early. I warned everybody the night before about 10 times that we're going to start at, the opening ceremonies are going to be at 6:40 on Monday night because we got to fit all that in before the...
But you are right. Jeff Barta is a classy fella that does so much that many people don't see, and he's there early and they're late.
he's a racer in his own way. This racing rules his life, so and his contributions are priceless.
And lends an ear for some emotionally upset individuals at times. I love you, Jeff.
Well said.
No, it was a
Good stuff.
overall a good weekend. I like that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing those who need to be recognized.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It was the weekend for that. Yep. Yeah.
Texas
we
Red.
Didn't we didn't rehearse that.
We did not.
It all
that
came
was
out
just
well.
all Texas Red upcoming schedule. Pay attention because it's going to get busy.
Yes.
Because no show next week. For those that don't know, we will be at the Southwest Speedway.
We're not even going to say we're canceling because we're not even here to cancel.
There's no show next week because of the
Because we're at the Tougher Than Dirt.
Tougher Than Dirt tour.
But before that,
We have
You'll be in Dickinson
Thursday night,
Wednesday.
tomorrow, McLean County Speedway. We had Marcus Tomlinson on there. 6 classes of great racing.
our opener,
Start at 7 p.m.
green flag at 7. Yep.
Central Standard Daylight Time. Or is it Central,
Be
whatever.
Daylight
Central
saving time.
Daylight
Yep.
savings time.
Summertime, yep. Look at you. Friday.
Friday is the Dakota Speedway.
Brockster will be down there.
Brock will be down there. I'm sure. Is Adam going to go down there?
I haven't been able to catch up with Adam. I had to do Boyce's plumbing stuff this week, but I'll catch up with him tomorrow. We'll know more. He's in there. He's in there listening. He's ready to play Wordle. So
Saturday,
he started
Estevan Motor Speedway. Early start or no early start?
No, they should be done with that. It was going to be the first 2 shows. We lost the second one, so I'm going to say we're back to 8 o'clock our time.
7 p.m. their time, 8 o'clock our time.
Yep.
Estevan Saturday, and then Nodak Speedway Sunday.
Yeah.
7 p.m. start time.
June 1st.
June 1st.
Goodbye, May.
Yes. Adam said yes to Mandan.
Yes to Wordle? Oh,
No.
Mandan. Oh, he's going to Mandan. Okay. Uh-huh.
Then we're going to touch on all next week. We have Monday off. I have my flight or my announcer flying in. I got to get him from the airport. I start vacation technically
So you
Friday.
got Ben coming in.
Ben's coming in.
I should be with you. So,
When I go pick him up.
well, yeah, that too. All week. So,
But then Tuesday night we kick off the old Tougher Than Dirt tour
at Underwood,
at the McLean County Speedway.
quickly, the classes, hobbies,
Sport
Smart
mod,
mods,
Legends, Slingshots. 4 classes.
and in Underwood, that is all we're racing.
That's it.
No stock cars. We haven't done stock cars in the past. This is a full Tougher Than Dirt night. Period.
With adding the slingshots, hopefully everybody shows up with their slingshots. I haven't had any traction on pre-registering slingshots, so only one, Katie or Ellie Ruby.
Niner, I saw that.
So
Yeah.
hopefully if you're out there with slingshots, remind everybody the slingshots are on the Tougher Than Dirt tour. Please.
Be there because
Yes.
this is the start of great things for a long time.
Yep.
Got to be there.
And then Wednesday night, there's a race car running out there. So obviously he fixed whatever he texted me about. Oh, Jenny fixed it. Look at her over there being the mechanic.
Golly.
Uh,
Credit where credit's due. Hey.
Wednesday night, instead of a Dirt Weekly, we're going to be at the Southwest Speedway, and they're going to start at 6 o'clock their time, which is 7 our time.
Yeah. So it'll seem the same.
So it'll seem the same, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, Wednesday night. Thursday night, we're going to roll up to the Williston Basin Speedway.
Back to Central Time.
Yep, 7 p.m. Central Time. Dickinson is only tour classes as well, same as Underwood. Dickinson is Hobby Stock, Sport Mod, Slingshot, Legends.
Then the Legends break off.
Legends go to their own tour.
Does the Slingshot stay with us?
Slingshots technically go both ways, but they're a part of my tour, not that tour, so they're coming with us. I'm going to calculate the points based on coming with us.
The Williston Swing.
The Williston Swing.
Got it.
The Legendary Tour, we should look that up really quick. I should have had that in my brain box. I apologize.
Williston will race your classes plus stock cars and A-mods.
Yep. Yep.
So
What are you going to be doing? You're watching this on Darn TV? You're not going to be in-house?
Well, not yet. I got a plumbing job. I haven't
seems-
green-lighted yet because I'm seeing if you're going to change your mind on anything. So.
This seems very foreign to me that you're not going to be...
I'm going to Williston with the stock car. I don't know if I'm doing anything between Sunday night and Thursday yet. So there's lots of time to think.
We can discuss it. The Legendary Tour, when we split off, when we go to Williston on that Thursday,
They swing back.
swing back to the Cheyenne Speedway in Lisbon.
Like they did last year.
Yep. Well, no, last year they had the night off.
Oh, okay.
They had the night
Lisbon's
off.
new this year.
Lisbon's new this year.
Okay.
So the Legends will go
went
to
somewhere.
Lisbon to the Cheyenne Speedway, and then Friday we're going to go to the Estevan Motor Speedway up in Estevan, and that will be a 7 p.m. local time start, 8 p.m. Central start, and they are also running stock cars and mods with us.
Yeah. So both Williston and Estevan are going to be regular nights per se, plus
Yes.
the Tougher Than Dirt.
Right.
The Legend cars will then go to Mandan.
Go to Mandan, Dakota Speedway in Mandan, for their night number 4.
Saturday.
Saturday we will be at the Thunder Mountain Speedway up in Botno,
Looking forward to that one. I like going up there.
and I believe we're
All your tour classes, their hobbies or their enduro cars
Sport-
too, or
I believe they're running their enduro class with us. I could be wrong, but I believe they are.
And they got lights, so let her go.
Yep.
What?
That
Yeah.
sun down the back straightaway just scares me. But
Yeah. It's real. Saturday night.
then Jamestown Speedway for the Legends for their night number 5. Then after that 5th night on my tour, I don't know what they're doing on the Legend Tour, but on my tour, we're still doing drop a night. For the the first 5, you can drop your worst one.
You can't drop the last night.
You cannot drop Nodak Speedway Championship night.
You have to be here. You can't run home and be the champion.
You have to race Nodak.
One of the big draws when the sprints came to town was those Schatz nieces. It was a good draw to have them here.
You want me to try to get him in a sport mod or what?
I'm wondering, do you have someone
It's a great
that's
question.
a name that's going to be on the tour that you're going to be like,
Well, we got word Pace Herrera is making his way up here. I don't know how big of a name Pace Herrera carries, but he is from Utah. His dad is Addiction Chassis for those in the game.
Our own Dilly Bar used to work there.
Yep, Dylan Barnhart used to work
A
there.
winter 2 or 3. Yeah, so his son Pace will be here in a sport mod. He's on Facebook quite a bit, so he's working pretty hard at things. He's going to be fun to see.
Yep,
that big hobby runner,
Morgan Olmsted. Or
he's
which
coming?
one?
Yep.
I did
Verbal.
I did get verbal word that he may. Everything is looking towards him being able to make it up here. He hasn't pre-registered yet. They just had a baby. Him and his girlfriend just had a baby here not too long ago. So you know the world of just having a baby. I know it's been several years ago for you, but
Easy.
Who are you talking to? I guess we both heard you. Okay, right. Yeah.
you know how that can go.
Fair.
Okay.
Do you have confirmation on one of our heavy hitters, Heaton? He's running the whole thing.
Well, Taylor Heaton is registered, but I don't know if he forgot to click some buttons. I don't have it on here. But he didn't click all the racetracks, so I don't have it on here. But he did not click all the racetracks.
Because Craig is setting things up for setting things up. Yeah.
Caden, is he running them all?
He did not pre-register.
Minds want to know.
Well, we're not even going to do this little fantasy thing because we ain't going to have time.
But just, the ones that you know. Trevor, is he running it all?
Trevor Haas is not. His engine owner said no. I don't know who his engine owner would be, but
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Why would they say
fun
no?
stopper.
why would his engine owner say no?
Yeah.
Because Trevor Haas does Trevor Haas things.
Yeah.
And
He
we don't need
runs them
Trevor
hot.
Haas things to take effect on that motor.
But like Brock's saying, he's feeling it. He's in that zone right now.
Well, you know
that
what?
is how Brock said
He
it.
can feel it and go get
Get his own motor.
No. He can pick up a win on championship night and beat all them tour guys.
Fair.
Yeah. Coming back to my town.
Jason Ruby came out
Hey.
like
Yeah.
there's no rust here.
Yeah, another great fear of the rear deal there. Yeah. Well, in the words of Isaac, let's see if we could peer pressure him to the racetrack. It worked.
And he rolled.
Fluffy said Trevor's work says no too.
Fluff, is he that valuable? Tell us the truth.
Trevor, we're just giving you grief because
Yeah, for a guy coming off a second
Because he
place
wants
roll.
it. He wants the grief. He wants it. So, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we bring everything back to Nodak on Sunday night. My tour, we're dropping a night, recalculate the points. Reset everything, race for a championship in front
Everybody
of the
will
grandstands.
know the points before the feature. So
You'll know before
be
the
able to
race.
follow
You'll
along.
know it 8 a.m. Monday morning when I post the points. You'll know what the reset is.
what the reset is. Okay.
You know,
everybody's worst night has been dropped,
yep.
and everybody has to race Sunday.
Just like last year, it took us from a kind of a points deal to where maybe it was skewed one way or skewed the other way. It's almost like the yellow checkers thing at the end. It can help and it can hurt.
Yeah.
And you just got to,
If you have 5 good nights, it sucks.
yep. Yep.
Because you're going to drop a good night. But, yeah, so if you had a 25-point lead, you might not know.
Yes.
Yeah. You might have a 6
Yep.
because you're going to drop a good night.
Look how
Got it.
Look how big hobbies are. We're talking about the hobbies in this. Not even really talking as much on the sport mods. Hobbies are big.
We're talking sport mods. I mean, there's a lot of sport mod runners, going on this deal. Robbie is signed up again. He's a former champion. Keenan Glosser's looking for a big year.
The Gabester.
Yep. Well, Gabe hasn't even pre-registered yet. Maybe he's just hiding in the back.
Oh. Because he's won it a time or two.
Ryder Raynard, I'm telling you, if I had to put money on some people, there'd be a Ryder Raynard, that 18 Sport Mod.
We threatened to do fantasy picks tonight.
We're not doing it.
Craig, you're dead quiet.
There's too many unknowns to try to do fantasy picks. I just don't
That
feel it's
never
a fair.
stopped us last time.
I just don't feel like it's a fair shake. Because I kind of been talking. It's not even fair to you guys because I've been talking
You
to way
got
more,
too much deep.
way too deep into this. So you guys don't even know.
And it's a conflict of interest probably a little bit for you, too.
Yeah, let's not put a team on me or
Yeah.
something. You know.
Jenny, slide in over here. Hop up in the big chair. Is it the same?
Because you're
Or is
race
it different?
director, too, on some.
I am the announcer this year. I am announcing with. Let's break down the team here. Jen Ravinius coming with on the whole thing as the scorer. She'll be at every single night, keeping the scoring.
Solid.
In places like Underwood, probably don't need her as much, but she's going to be there just to be a part of the tour. And
There'll be things shared there that will help
Do
every
her
track
thing.
on some level.
Back to my family thing. You know, Dennis and Deb, they're just doing their thing and living life. And
Yep.
look what they breeded off.
Yep.
A legacy.
Yep.
And Smalls got included in that.
Crickets.
Poor Smalls ain't here.
He does it to
Smalls is
himself.
looking at this show at like a race program. It's
Yeah.
creeping up on 3 hours, and he's like, "Can we just get this checkered flag already?" So, Jen Ravinius doing the scoring all week. My wife Jenny on the camera all week, helping me with the organization. Peyton Beater is going to be the social media guru, posting pictures. I got heat race winner pictures that are going to be posted every night. I got sponsors for that stuff. Thank you. Drawing a blank here now. LT Performance. Tim Goodwin jumped on to sponsor the Hobby Stock heat races. Going to get a picture.
Nice.
Chris Schultz, Red Line Motorsports, jumped on as the Sport Mod. Going to get a picture with a signboard. Every heat race winner will get a picture with a signboard,
Heck
put up
yeah.
on social media.
That matters.
I got
like
a job for Jordan.
DD North, Adam Goff sponsoring Victory Lane, DD North,
Ah.
and doing contingency prizes.
it. Adam always participates.
You could
well.
be the
Appreciate
roving reporter down there. Who wouldn't want to speak to Jordan?
it. Probably most. I don't know. Yeah.
Huge news. I didn't even get to bring this up yet. Title sponsor, TNA Tong and Indicator, Austin Carruthers and the gang over there stepped up. There is a back room back there full of product from Shot Storage is the presenting sponsor. So the long name of it, TNA Tong and Indicator, Tougher Than Dirt Tour, presented by Shot Storage. Say that 10 times fast.
I had to read it slowly, and it took me a minute.
I will get good
on
at
Facebook.
it. Them two sponsors, not only they're helping me pay the people that need to come up and help put on the show and giving product. I'm going to take you guys back to that room. I just came home with more stuff today because I was in Williston, swung in there, and they're loading more things in my pickup.
Yeah,
And it
so
is unreal the support that they're giving me, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Yeah.
AT21, they're going to be the live timing and scoring. They're also giving product to the drivers.
Some
Spoilers and stuff for the Sport Mod guys.
AT21, Aaron Turnbull.
Yep, Aaron
21.
Turnbull.
That little
Spoilers.
fin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sladen was showing me that thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a little on the open motor, and it's big on the crate.
Yep.
3 and 5.
Hope I'm not missing any. I should have had all this all lined up on my brain box. You know how I go. Dakota Trackside, intermission redraw sponsor. They'll be on board. So all kinds of good things. Then Darn TV, obviously. Jenny with Darn TV. I'm not even saying me. Jenny with Darn TV.
Cutting loose with the big money. Yeah.
Ben Deathridge, IMCA TV's Ben Deathridge is flying in on Monday, going to join me. That's going to serve two purposes. Ben Deathridge, for those that don't know, not only is he the voice of all kinds of racing
Yeah.
throughout the country,
Did the tour last year.
did the tour last year with Nick Hulberg. I'm going to be joining him as the tour announcers because I need to be a multi-role. I need to be able to produce the broadcast, that kind of stuff.
Need the buttons right here.
Yep. he is also the new Bill Martin of IMCA, if you
He
didn't know
is?
that. He's
Oh.
Ben Detheridge replaced Bill Martin.
God, he fits the part perfectly.
Fits it perfectly.
He's a historian of all types.
We're going to get write-ups.
Like it.
He's going to be on board with giving the Tougher Than Dirt Tour the pub each and every night that it hopefully it deserves.
I got to meet him last year during the tour there or whatever on a rain out, and what a great guy. Just full of history. I mean, accurate history on top of it. So good on him. And you shared his little write-ups. I mean, he'll have write-ups, about a feature winner or something. You might not see it for 3 days or a week, but he does a good job of pumping guys up.
And the brand new race director that's going to get thrown to the fire, he's done it a little bit in the past, but I don't think he's done it to the full extent of a tour, is Jake Nelson.
The Jakester.
The Jakester's coming on the whole tour and going to be the race director.
He's been the Williston president. Is he thick enough to take on some?
He says he is. He says he is.
Some raving maniacs?
I was hoping to get him over.
He may want to know where the start cones are.
He might be one to bounce something off of where to maybe put them start cones.
Well, don't say we didn't warn you.
So
yes.
the crew going, photographer Maggie with Macon Photography will be there each and every night. And I didn't bring up, I should have brought up first, Sebo Motorsports and Macon Signs and Graphics. Sebo Motorsports bought the coolers for the hobby stocks, so now the hobby stock guys get coolers right alongside of the Sport Mod guys from Conway's Fury Energy, putting up the coolers for the hard chargers. So each class is getting hard chargers. Big deal, because I know the hobby stock guys, they kind of asked where their coolers were the last few years, and I said, well, I'll get them to you next year, and we got them. So hard charger's going to go home with a cooler.
Neat stuff. I think that's what I saw this spring getting delivered.
Yep.
That is cool. That's
So,
cool stuff.
A lot of things and a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I made the comment over the winter. I don't know how many more years I want to do the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, but we'll keep it rolling for the time being and see where it ends up. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I've been watching you peck away at making the presentations and stuff like that. It doesn't do itself, that's for sure.
Everything that you see on social media, Facebook, I mean, to this point, I'm going to have a lot of help once the tour starts, but it's hard to pin people down and make them do all the going on tour. So-and-so is Tougher Than Dirt. All that is done by me. I think I told you last week or 2 weeks ago, I swing up here, I leave my house, I have an hour before work, I can squeeze in 45 minutes. I stop here, I make up 4 or 5 of them, and then I get on the road.
This is at 6 a.m.
This is at 6 in the morning. I come home before a Dirt Weekly. I sat down and I made 2 of them before the Dirt Weekly tonight, before you guys got here. It's just bang, bang, bang. I just got to, every minute of every day has to be utilized, and I hope the tour next week, bringing back the beanbag toss. I think a lot of people asked for the beanbag toss to come back. Went away from it last year. People asked where it was. And, yes, Jeff Barta, I forgot to text you. I've had 1,000 messages between yesterday. Actually, I don't even know for sure. Do we know if Grandpa's going to let Max come flag the tour?
Whoa.
Max has a job now. Max was going to be the flag man for Jeff Barta because Jeff had a lot of things going on. But Max now works for his grandpa on the construction stuff. I don't believe he's ever asked for the week off. I think he just assumes he's getting it off.
That's what gets him in trouble. He forgot to ask for time off. Then he had lots of time off.
Yeah.
But he couldn't put gas in his car. Right. But cause and effect.
A whole bunch of things coming together. I think ultimately he probably would enjoy if he could race the thing, but I just can't justify. I need some adult supervision to poke him and keep him motivated.
There's not enough of me. I've watched you. You're 20 years younger.
So the crew's coming together. I believe we have a good crew again. I'm excited. I'm excited to announce with Ben. I've never done that.
Yes.
I think,
and
I'm going to be real with you.
Bill Martin's deal. I mean, this is going to be fun. This is going to be cool stuff.
I'll be real with you. I think there's a third microphone open. I didn't know if we were going to keep it open for Isaac and Underwood or yourself and Underwood.
I got to
Dickinson.
drink a car with. But
Well, you
oh,
don't
no,
have-
not on Tuesday.
Not on
Right.
Tuesday.
Well, careful what you ask for. Yeah. Huh.
As for Dickinson, I don't think we need to make you make the trip all the way to Dickinson. You can,
Yeah.
because then you got a race the next night in Williston. I don't think that's a realistic scenario. So
You know how old I am. Things are starting to show up.
I know what the green machine does
Yeah.
at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, on a good day. Right. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how the weekend goes here.
You'll regret it if you don't go.
Well, again, it's just materializing. It's like a storm out in the Atlantic. It hasn't hit landfall yet. So, gotta see where I'm at. I got a permit cooking here, so see where I'm at, so.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
I think it's the best part about the Tougher Than Dirt Tour is it's a good tour for the hobby stock, sport mods, now slingshots, legendary tour. You know, other than me helping do the broadcasting, the announcing part of that series or that tour, I don't really have much to do with it. That's their own tour. So, but anything, I just feel like, you know, giving these guys their week to be the show.
Well, I'm just going to go there. I mean, you kind of created this here because the stock cars and the mods were able to get the Dakota Classic. You've touched on this. And you just wanted to, if you could, shine a little light on the hobbies and the sport mods. I thought the Legend cars were a great fit. The slingshots are the definition of what you're doing.
Yep.
It's beginner drivers type of deal, beginner classes. So I think as the classes have been added on, I think it's enhanced it without taking anything away from the hobbies and the sport mods. I mean, that's still going to be the premieres. Type of sell, and you've had some characters come and go on this thing. Look forward to it.
Yep.
They go on to Boone and they do well. I mean, so when you
All
see them
over
up
the
here
place.
doing well, they do well. You know, on the super national stage too.
And I don't know if we can top last year of a hobby stock feature finish coming down to .002, but we're sure as hell going to try.
Let's reminisce that. Yeah, right. That was awesome.
Every year during the mod tour and your tour, there's people that, like right now in my brain, don't mean anything to me. And then once the tour goes on,
You're
you know, like
like,
Ethan
oh.
Bruxman, you know, in the mod
Yep.
tour,
Yeah.
he wins it. And I didn't know who he was before we even started.
You know, and from the announcers, we got to watch that on the rainout, Jamestown rainout, and him and TBJ came down to it. He parked it up next to him. They didn't
Yep.
touch. TBJ won it, but Braxton was the real deal. I mean, yeah, he kind of did it quietly, if you will, but nonetheless, a great performer. And just I'd heard about him and stuff like that, and really got to see him race, and it was like, yeah, it's all there. So
Definitely going to miss Mr. Nick Hallberg. He was a pretty good voice of the tour for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I would like him for the next 10. But things come and go.
Nick's busy.
Yep.
So
Nick is a big thoughts and prayers to the Hallberg family as well.
yes,
Nick lost his dad last
lost
week,
his
and
father,
the funeral was today at 1:00. I was unable to make it. I was in a meeting over in Williston. But thoughts and prayers to the Hallberg family.
Sorry, Nick.
Yep. Should we go to Hot Sauce Fantasy?
Like pick 'em? Oh. Oh, no. Oh,
It wasn't me this time.
okay. Sorry. Yeah, if you want to recap, why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Listen to him. Listen to him. I lost another spoke in the wheel here, and I had all my players.
Yeah. How
What
did that
happened here?
How did that work?
Apparently yours played better than mine, and mine played good.
Well, here's the.
Read them and weep.
Let's.
I'm weeping.
I'll roll through mine. Both my hobby stocks performed really well this weekend. I got good points out of both of them. I think top 7 finishes both nights for them. Gabe DeShaw, Darren Schatz made a big turnaround on. I think he got a flat tire on Sunday night. Turned around with a 4th place on Monday. Gabe was consistent both nights. Jorn.
Your stock cars suck.
Well,
one of them.
Kyle Schoep's pretty good, but you're
Yeah.
holding me back here.
Yeah.
I should have let you pick
Jesus.
yourself, maybe.
Well, I told you I didn't. I wasn't fast enough.
Right. Had a full roster of modifieds this weekend. I think that's what helped me a ton with a win from Travis Hagen. Had a full roster of modifieds. Chris Yost was a little tough on me on Sunday night.
I see you broke down, come in early.
But overall, I closed in a little bit, I think, on Craig, didn't I? Or
Yeah, well, I thought you did. I thought we had 200, and it don't look like it's that much
No, it's-
anymore. So
it's
like
about
150
150 or whatever or so.
in there. Yeah. Huh. I was excited. I had all my band members.
Yep.
We were making music. Yeah. Jason Ruby. Man, I wish I didn't miss him as long as I did, but
Solid points.
He jumped right up and carried and I don't know.
Robbie got that win opening night, but he's been quiet. But his points are amazing.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at on the overall.
He's the leader.
He is.
He's the
Okay, I was
points
going to
leader.
say Robbie's had a solid season, and I'm glad he's on board for sure. Marcus touched on the modified deal. I mean, Marcus had tough weekend. Hot Sauce got involved in that squish deal too. So he ran injured, I think. But nonetheless, I had all my players, and that's all I could ask for. I'm going to touch on Brooklyn. She was able to get a motor back in, come back and represent. Adam made up stickers for everybody. Everybody's got a little
Team Jorn sticker.
He calls it yuck green, so I call it yellow because you can't hurt green that bad. So with yuck words, so everybody's been playing along. They put the stickers on. You've talked that you've got some stuff cooking, Craig. You got some stuff cooking, but we had it cooking first. So there you go.
Kyler Satrin hasn't won yet.
Consistent.
That is hard to
Points
believe.
are beautiful. Probably got one robbed from him on this weekend.
You would say that like a true fantasy owner.
Yes. Chad Strachan, he's been
Yeah, he's your chatty.
Taylor Stenvold, the great 1-2
Yeah.
punch. Will Sharesky is another fella. Not a win yet, but he's
Hard to believe.
He's right there. Brock, what do I say?
Yeah,
Awesome.
cheated. That's what you should say.
Steven,
Inside information.
he's the number 1 point leader. Sorry, Jordan.
Yeah, I know that.
But Drew having
Yeah.
a great year, and most importantly, he's showing Lily how to get it done. And she's going to pick one off and say, Hugh Bakes, go lay by your dish.
Yeah.
I'm taking this one
She
tonight.
got one last year. We were excited when it happened.
Here's
so.
my comment on Craig's team. He has 1, 2,
Quit. It hurts.
3 points leaders. Okay? Then you go to second place in points. He has 1, 2, 3 second place in points on his team. What are we doing wrong?
What you're saying is apparently knowing something about race cars and or
It has
racing them
nothing
means
to do
nothing.
with- we're-
It's the grandstand technicians.
It's the $12 eggs. It's the $15 milk.
Yes, yes. And we're waiting for the place to open to get them. True story. No, man. Don't doubt somebody that knows what they're talking about in the grandstand. Shut up and listen. I'm going to.
Can we get with corporate and get access to all the microphones that are in your store so we can get
Yeah.
in on your behind the scenes
Yeah.
talk you have while you're in the store?
He's got everybody greased up every time they come in. I come in at night so he can't get me. I wait for him to go home.
You see a lot of folks in there. That's fair. And I'm trying to load everyone I see with popcorn.
Are the popcorn sales
that's
going good?
That's going.
Let me show you something.
Hey, you pointed it out. I'm just wondering where the royalties are at. It was your story. I was just
I don't
I was
know
just hanging with it.
If Sladen would have been more excited to win the A main or get this bag of popcorn.
Did you get him a bag of popcorn?
awesome.
Oh, look at that.
I mean, he could have
Yeah.
Oh my!
Yep.
Huh? So fun.
Yeah,
Oh.
fun. We didn't touch on Smalls' team. He didn't touch on it himself, so
Well,
Smalls' team, he picked up a win, 2 wins over the weekend. Mike Hagan and Keenan Glosser picked
Yeah.
up a win. No show for Jason Walla.
it's the no-shows that just punish us.
Yeah. And we tried
and,
to
and they don't mean it. I mean, we picked them. We didn't know.
and the
We
and
peer
the
pressured Jason in.
Commish tried to do the 15-point deal. The 15-point gets you closer. It's still not a
It's not a 0, but it's a gap.
yeah.
Because even when your fellow, like, if he would ever lose a driver, he'd still get 15. It's still hard to catch 200 points. So it ain't over, but
We have
shorter.
1, 2, 3 nights left.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, because the Tougher Than Dirt Sunday's not a full house Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we do a redraw or play around with the Dakota Classic Modified Tour or something.
We got to get the list of the but that might
Yeah.
be conflict of interest for me as well. I'm the race director on the mod tour.
We're going to
so
pound you. We want to play anyway.
It's fun. Yeah, I just wish I
We're
could
trying to
pick.
give you everything you don't want right now, and you won't take it.
Well, we might have got Brock to Fargo, or at least a good part way there tonight.
Yeah,
3
You're probably
hours.
still listening. He'll have to put it on repeat to get home. Ooh, you're gonna get home at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, 2.
What the thing? Marcus said it right. The things you do to race.
Yeah.
Marcus will work all day, race all night, not sleep, go back to work all day.
Marcus
go back
shift work. That's 12 at work. You got to
Yep.
sleep in there somewhere. That's 4 to play on race cars.
Yep. What? Brock's home. Oh, he was on his way back. No, he's home. Yeah, but he was when we talked to him. He must have been on his way back. His second trip to Fargo. He left early this morning. Then.
Oh, I thought he was still heading there. I thought I asked him that. He was in Martin. So okay. Oh, okay. I thought he was still going there and still back. I'm like, there was a time, not this time.
Well, during the show here, Max Beater must have got Mom fixed Max's car. He must have it loaded on the trailer, so he's ready to go to Underwood tomorrow.
Oh, I was in the way, but I leave the keys in the car so you can move it. If he's hooking up the trailer, that is.
He got her done. What else you guys got? Underwood tomorrow. Everybody make the 50-mile trip.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. You know, summer has started when Underwood's racing because we do
Yep.
it after the kids get out of school and before they go to school. So if Underwood's racing, it's summertime.
It's summertime. Get
And
out
it's
and
always
support
short, so
support your
enjoy it.
local track. I hope the Tougher Than Dirt Tour can entertain you guys. If you can't make it to the track on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour, I don't normally push this, but watch it on Darn TV because that helps support the Tougher Than Dirt Tour.
Yeah, you're giving a ton back. So
Yep.
that's a great message there. So, and for some, that's a long drive. So.
Yep. Well, and for those, I know there's a lot of people that look forward to. Are you going to take it in as a fan, or are you going to watch it?
I'm planning on going to Underwood, Botno, and Minot in person. Otherwise, I'm darn TVing it.
But that day, I know back when I didn't.
You cleared that with work.
It should be clean. It should be. Well, that all depend on.
I shouldn't laugh because you got to fill in if somebody
Yeah.
don't show up. So
That's what
sorta.
we're working on. I think I'm opening the store tomorrow.
Yeah, 2 trips to Fargo, same thing, right? Got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
there's not even daylight in the curtains anymore.
No,
well, maybe there is. if
we've
I
done pretty
squint.
good.
So
And it's summer.
yeah,
That tells you it's-
that means it's might be after 10. Do I dare look?
It
it
is.
is. It is.
13. Yeah. Okay. Well, the window don't lie.
The phone calls we get, we need to adjust this. Maybe we don't need to go through the full weekend recap. Maybe we just kind of hit some high points of the weekend
Maybe the phone callers.
and then hit the phone callers.
People like the recap, and then we almost miss a class, and Trevor straightens us out. So
Yeah.
and that's okay. But whatever you think, we're just here.
Yeah.
For the fantasy.
We are everybody's fantasy.
Oh God.
Yeah, so come tomorrow night. And then if you're bored this weekend, you got a Mandan, you got an Estevan, you got a Nodak on Sunday. Hopefully we see everybody at Nodak Sunday. If you want to, you can buy me a cupcake on Saturday up in Estevan. It's my anniversary. It's my 22nd anniversary of my 21st birthday.
It's your birthday too?
It is my birthday on Saturday.
Oh.
It's the 22nd anniversary
Oh,
of my
your
21st.
Okay. So I thought you guys got married.
I'm 40. I'm 43, so I will be 43.
Thanks for the math class.
We had
I'm going to
small-
Bender here. I'm like, what?
We had Smallsy on the 11th, so next.
Yeah.
Saturday, Estevan.
I don't-
Cupcakes.
And I don't know
You're
what.
parked next to me. I can't miss on this. Deal.
Oh, Fan Zone. We got to touch on
Fan
Fan Zone a little bit at Nodak. Chris Anderson putting the Fan Zone together.
Okay.
That's every Sunday, I believe they're putting that Fan Zone together. So get out there. Max put his car there. He's going to bring some stickers. We're going to get some hero cards. Him and Brock both are going to fill out the dating profiles so that way they get girlfriends. So they'll be over in the Fan Zone.
Let's proofread these before they go. It'll be funner.
Yeah, excellent job with the Fan Zone. I think that's really good for the people that come early.
Yeah, Chris is into promoting the track. You know, it seems like it's a very selfless thing.
Yep. So, with that, where are we at on our music here? Where have I gotten?
Play the Jordan Boys song. Take us out.
Oh my God!
I don't even know if I can get to it. Did I get to it before? I can't get to it. Did I try? No, I better not. Better not. Well,
green shirts at the green trailer.
Green shirts at the green trailer. 40 years of racing shirts.
Yeah. There's a motto on there for those that don't know. Mike Tomlinson. Yeah. We have fun with that. So, hey, get ready. Pay attention. There's a lot of racing going on.
A lot of racing in the next 2 weeks. If you're literally starting tomorrow, there is 1 day off in 1, 2, 3,
In a lot.
4.
And
one off.
That'd
6
be
more.
Monday.
That'd be 1 day off in 11 days.
And that'd be Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh. I have to work in there somewhere, I think.
I don't.
Just don't sleep.
Yeah.
Well, for Jordan Boyce, Craig Heupel, I'm Brandon Beater. Thanks for tuning in and watching.
It was fun.